All right.
That's awesome.
Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon for those overseas, or just good day for the awkward in-betweeners. We're D&D Breakfast Club, because I said so, and no one else argued with me, and that's why. We're a group of friends from Minnesota that get together every Sunday at 7:30 a.m. Central Standard Time to play some Dungeons & Dragons. I'm here to chronicle our journey, their journey, more likely, and hope that everyone here will enjoy their stay. It's a live play stream, but it's non-interactive, so we're not going to be talking to anyone in the chat. If you have any questions, you can ask, and we'll get to them during the break or after the game. This is Session 0. It's actually Session 1, I lie, of a new campaign titled Mad Magnus Monroe. I informed everyone of the current events of the world, which I'll touch on soon. Each of these players are asked to write about the main villain, Magnus Monroe, and include in the backstory how he has aggrieved their character. This event in each character's history was life-changing. Each player took the theme and ran with it. Everyone did an amazing job with their backstories. I got like 3 pages from each player. And I awarded everyone an inspiration to start off the game. Inspiration, Matt, he's our newest player, is you get 1 extra d20 to roll whenever you choose. And that's where you mark it down, is that inspiration box. You got it already.
I have a question. Do you have to...
You already have a question. I haven't gotten through the introduction.
He's preambling.
I always have questions.
All right.
So when you spend your inspiration die, do you have to choose before you roll, or can you choose after you see your first roll? Like if I roll a 1, can I be like, oh fuck, it's inspiration time?
After you.
Nice. All right,
It's inspiration. It's inspiration.
So all of us are halfling ones, I guess.
I don't actually know, but I'm ruling that right now. Character names, race, classes, an abbreviated version of how Magnus Monroe harmed your character. Let's start with you.
Okay, my character's name is Delrin Cooper. He's a fallen Aasimar, paladin, first level. So Delrin grew up in a small town. He was a Cooper, just like his parents, but he was never really super good at it. He always dreamed...
Cooper is?
Oh, Cooper is a barrel maker.
Thank you.
Yeah, his family is a family of Coopers. It's the family business. And so he never really fit in. His father's best friend was also a paladin and would come by with his kids and hang out. And he would hear this guy's stories, and he really wanted to go do what this dude was doing, be an adventurer and save the world. And so he left when a resistance sprang up against Mad Magnus to go be part of it. But he saw really horrible things that Magnus was doing. Like, he saw one town that they were all put to the stake in a field. The second town, Magnus's soldiers locked them in their houses and burned them down around him. And it really changed the way that he saw the world. So he started being more brutal and more violent, eventually leaving his order with a bunch of other paladins and striking out on his own. And in the process, they became known as the Unfaithful. They ended up at this place called the Battle of Badness, I think, where he was trying to cut off the supply chain from Magnus. And the problem was that Magnus, knowing that he was facing a lot of paladins, had fortified his supply chain with slaves that were innocent in order to keep them from being hit by the paladins' forces. But Delrin took the extra step, killed all the slaves, slaughtered them, strung them up in a tree, and left them for the scouts to find when the supplies didn't make it, because he realized that fear is a weapon. He learned that from Magnus's approach to things. When the scouts came, they slaughtered all the scouts except for one, and drew a company of Magnus's towards them. All of the other unfaithful that he knows about, at least, died there that day, he thinks. And he lived, and now he's at a temple of Pelor. That's pretty much it, I think.
Not quite abbreviated version, but we'll take it.
All right.
I know how to do abbreviated.
So name, class, race, abbreviated.
So Zadkiel Everlight is a tiefling who chose the virtue name Merit. He's an acolyte of Pelor, a priest, and is becoming a divine soul sorcerer, though he thinks he's becoming a cleric. We'll get to that part later. He was actually born as a result of a devil who possessed a member of a town, and a cleric of Pelor came in, cleaned up afterwards. He was the only one of the few survivors of the town. So he was born there, think kind of Hellboy-ish. So born of a devil, but adopted at birth by a cleric of Pelor.
That was much more abbreviated.
I almost...
Sorry.
You heard, like, I almost went into the story and then had to keep bringing it back in.
I couldn't help myself.
All right, Alex.
Name is Artigan Hostigan. Level 1 bard, human. My father was a blacksmith. I grew up in a small town. Essentially, my bride-to-be was killed by Magnus and brought back to his side as a undead. So I'm going to a place where I could find a cleric that would be able to resurrect her after I am on my mission to kill Magnus. So
Nice. Name, race,
Okay,
class.
You got it. Girvan Ether, level 1 Ranger Wood Elf. Girvan was living semi-peacefully in the Citadel Forest as a hunter until one fateful night when Girvan's forces decided to pillage and
Magnus's forces.
Magnus, decided to just pillage and start to enslave some of the people, took them away. Girvan was one of the only remaining survivors, and now he's just kind of looking for what to do next.
Cool. And then why does he come to the town?
Oh, he, during his travels, he was without food, water for a while, so he started hallucinating, having some visions, and told him to come to this temple place.
There you go. All right. I got a couple homebrew rules I'm going to go over. I'm trying to run this as close to the book as possible. I'm always willing to go back on a decision I make during the game at a later time, reevaluate if I interpreted it wrong, especially if you point it out to me, because otherwise I won't know. It's like the inspiration thing. I'm not really sure, but I'm just going to rule it that you can roll it after the fact. I think everyone here, we have a pretty good cooperative game. We like to play the rules correctly, and there shouldn't be any problems in that regard. And the homebrew rules that we're going to be using is a resurrection homebrew rule. It's slightly modified of Matthew Mercer's homebrew rules. The only difference in the rules is rapid revival. You get your proficiency bonus plus your spellcasting bonus plus 10, I believe. And if you achieve a result greater than the spell level plus 10, is that how it goes?
I do not.
We have it written down. We'll go over that later.
Is it written down in the notes
None
that
of
you
us
handed
can
out?
do it right now, so
None of you can do it right now anyways.
yeah.
So revival, resurrection is not so cut and dry. You can't just keep dying and keep coming back with no consequences. There will be a time, the more you die, the harder it is to bring you back.
I think the difficulty was 10 plus 1 for every time you died.
Yes.
So first it's not bad, but then it gets bad.
It gets worse.
And
And
I
then
think-
regular resurrections are a ritual.
Yep.
And people can participate in them. The better that people do in their participation, maybe they give an offering or an alms of something of that nature, it gets easier to bring the soul back. But if you fail, the soul never returns. So death is a real thing. Bummer. And then the second homebrew rule that I've used is everyone got a feat to start. I think we got some pretty good feats. What did you take?
Shield Master.
Shield Master.
I took the tiefling background Infernal Constitution, which gives
From
me
Xanathar's.
extra resistances.
I'm human, so I actually picked 2 feats for the Warcaster and Mage Slayer.
And you took
Sharpshooter.
Sharpshooter. We got a pretty good variety in there. Feats at character creation allow for a little different of a build, so that is that. I'm going to do a reading of the history of the world. It's going to be a little long-winded, so bear with me, and once we get done with that, we will start. All right. A long, long time ago. Oh, and you all have a... If you want to read along, I don't know if you guys are all visual. If you want to read along, you have it in your binders.
Read along out loud with you? Like a
If-
chorus?
You know, maybe just turn to that page in case I start losing my voice, and that way you can take over for me.
Okay.
I'll probably be fine. A long, long time ago, the world of Lothrune suffered one of the worst recorded wars in its history. This war, the Tyranny of Dragons, spanned multiple centuries across the continent of Erishen. It was a war between the Dragonborn race that unintentionally involved all creatures in Lothrune. Blood spilled into every settlement, innocent people died by the thousands, and cities and kingdoms were transformed into graveyards. One side fought for the god Bahamut, a powerful draconic deity that values wisdom and knowledge. Those that fought for and with the Dragonborn soldiers of Bahamut believed in justice, mercy, and the good of the world's inhabitants. The other side fought for Bahamut's greatest opposition, his sister Tiamat. Tiamat, the draconic goddess, was worshipped and revered by Dragonborn. They revered strength and self-indulgence. Creatures of evil flocked from every recess of the lands to join in the chaos that ensued to have their chance to spill blood. The Tyranny of Dragons is said to be a true battle of good versus evil. It almost destroyed the world. It was said that the war would never end as long as there were Dragonborn to fight. Nobody is sure who started the atrocities that suffered the world of Lothrune following the war. There are those that blame the humans and elves that bordered the Dragonborn kingdoms. Some blame the orc raiders who plagued the shores of the eastern kingdoms of Erishen. Others even blame the Dragonborns themselves, saying they started the practice of selling their own kind into slavery. No matter the truth of it, this cruel and hateful practice extended almost solely to Dragonborn, and it lasted for over 500 years. The world looked down on their kind, calling them beasts, dragonkin, and even monsters. 79 years ago brought about much-needed change to these terrible times. This was the year that the Council of 13 was formed. The council gathered the greatest kings, lords, leaders, priests, and magi from every corner of Lothrune. All races from every continent was allowed representation. The council wrote and enacted many alliances and treaties made to prevent the destruction of their world. Within 5 years, the council ruled for the abolition of slavery in all allied kingdoms and lands. This is celebrated as one of the greatest acts in Lothrune's history. This hope and change was short-lived. Magnus Monroe was young when he joined the Council of 13 at 22 years of age, yet his wisdom and intellect were beyond his years. Those that remember him when he first joined have mentioned that he was a young tactical genius. This Dragonborn prodigy quickly rose to a position of prominence within the council, and his words held sway among the members of the council and kingdoms of Lothrune. He continued this tenure for 20 years, forming alliances with leaders from all nations. 15 years ago, Magnus Monroe openly rebelled against the Council of 13 during a tribunal. In his defiance, Magnus destroyed the council and murdered the leader, Kona Thule, along with most of the other council members. He amassed an army of Dragonborn and set out on a mission to destroy the world of Lothrune. Page 2. Erishen is the largest continent of Lothrune. These lands are hosted primarily by elf, man, and in the east beyond the Wailing Wall, Dragonborn. West of the wall sprawls wild and untamed ancient forests. Forests which are so thick and abundant that they suffocate everything they run through. The mountains of the land are stunted and worn, old stumps that might have one day been great. These mountains divide the heart of the continent into 3 distinct regions. In the north, Rurigzela hosts inhospitable tundra. The hardiest of creatures live and thrive in these lands. Southwest of the mountains is the Duranda region, vast forests connected by rivers and spotted with swamps. East of the mountains is the Vanmire region. City-states dot the lands up and down the rivers in this region all the way down to the Emerald Coast. The year is 1521 AS, the 13th day of Jarmik, on the day of Thar. This is the first month of the year and the coldest in the northern lands. Every kingdom is on edge, if not already at war. Hospitalities grow scarcer with each day that passes. The inns and taverns a traveler would find on the pass between settlements are abandoned or pillaged. those that would flee the rural lands for safety and civilization find little welcome in the crowded city streets, and travelers are treated with disregard. Most are unable to afford the taxes required to stay within the city walls, whose winter stores are rapidly depleting. The world is a dangerous place, and each wintry hour of Glim, the season of snow and ice, reminds everyone of this cold, hard truth. Just a couple more paragraphs. Our story starts in the city of Oakdale, a city built over 1,000 years ago. Religious pilgrims who were persecuted for their faith came to this land and erected a tower to the gods. This tower stands over 600 feet high at the top of the steeple. It can be seen from miles away. People of every nation and religion flock to the town to practice their faiths without fear. 800 years ago, a devastating war destroyed the entire city, all except the Tower of the Gods. In the past 200 years, there are those that have taken residence here and made it their home. The current state of Oakdale today follows the long-held traditions of religious freedom. Almost every faith is practiced in Oakdale as long as their actions don't directly interfere with the city's laws and ordinances. 4 wandering destinies cross paths and intertwine at one of these temples, the Citadel of the Sun. This citadel is where High Priestess Gloriosa Everlight has practiced her faith for 15 years. Inside these walls and halls, you will hear the talk of healing, redemption, and light. Inside these halls, you'll find welcome at all hours of the day. And that is my introduction. I'm going to take a drink.
Well done.
When's
Any
the last time
questions?
you talked that much?
That's a lot of talking. Questions. No questions? All right, good. I wasn't going to give you any anyways. And here is where our story begins. Merritt Everlight. You're standing in a small, narrow chamber. It's a hall that's been turned into a room. There's bookcases that are lined on each wall, stuffed with books from top to bottom. In each crevice where there's no books, in each cranny and crack, there's scrolls that are stuffed into the middle. You have little statues that are in front of the spines of the books. Some are worn, some are perfectly cut. Each statue is a representation of what you believe to be an angel. Some have wings, some wings are chipped and broken. At the end of this hall, you see a bed recessed into the left-hand wall. On that bed, you see a man laying down. At the end of this hall, you see a chair. In the chair is this old, ancient-looking, gray-haired man. His hair is wispy on the top and long, flowing over his shoulders. He has a short, crooked nose. This is a man you know to be Father Ramiel. On a chair in front of him, against the other side of the wall, is a man sitting there as well. Why don't you describe your character for us?
Me?
You.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Merritt Everlight.
So I'm not walking down the hall, I am sitting in the chair.
No, you're not sitting in the chair. You are in the hall.
Oh, so just describe myself while
Just
I'm walking.
describe yourself.
Okay. Merritt is very young. He was about 15 years old. So he is a reddish tiefling with rather large horns that tend to come out rather than just curl in like a ram's. He has, from a distance, his skin is almost a tannish or like a burgundy color. But if you get up close, it's because his red skin is covered in little fine line golden tattoos. Think maybe like Nightcrawler from the X-Men movie, except instead of cutting himself, it's little golden tattoos covering his face and hands. He's wearing a long priest's robe, or perhaps an acolyte robe, and is carrying, using a walking stick that's almost as tall as he is, that's rather ornate as well. He has a tail and It sounds vaguely like he might have cloven feet underneath the robe, though you can't see them.
Father Ramiel sits in the chair. He looks up. You can see the aged lines in his cheeks and his forehead. His eyes are sunken in. He's been with the Citadel of the Sun for a long, long time, almost his entire life. He's someone that you've grown up with. Very matter-of-fact man. He wears a blue cloak over a blue tabard. On the blue tabard is the symbol of Palor. It has the sun. And behind that spiked sun is two wings that fold out, feathered wings that look like an angel. And he looks up at you and he... Merit Everlight, thank you for attending my summons.
Of course, sir. And I brought your tea.
He takes the cup. He grabs a stick that was leaning against the table, stands it up. You can see his hands shaking as he tries to lift his butt off the chair to stand for you.
I attempt to help.
You help him up.
Yeah.
He grabs your hands and thanks. I summoned you here because this man, Delarin Cooper, you're laying in the bed, a leg injury. Why don't you describe yourself?
Okay, so I've got short black hair and a little bit of a kind of a light beard, almost like a goat sort of thing growing in. I'm pretty physically fit in general. I'm probably bored looking. My character, you can tell that he's fidgety. He wants to get up and leave. Like, he just looks like he'd rather be somewhere else than in this bed.
Cool. This man, Delarin Cooper, has just awoken. There was no room in the healer's hall for anyone anymore, and I've allowed him to take refuge in my chambers for the moment. He's been asking for your mother. I'm sorry, for Lady Everlight. And this man as well, across from the bed, sitting in the chair, an old wooden rickety chair. It's creaking every once in a while as the man moves around. Artigan Hostigan has also been asking for Lady Everlight. Why don't you describe your character?
Blonde hair, about shoulder length, mostly dressed in commoner clothes, browns and greens, blues. Belt going across his chest.
Do you carry anything on you?
I have, on my picture, I have a little guitar thing, so.
Do you carry that on you?
I'll say so.
Okay. You can play it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you started with one.
Hmm?
I would have sent someone to fetch her besides you. However, she's asked that no one disturb her solar, and I'm sure you can understand that. Well, if anyone can disturb her, it would be you.
It is my specialty. Would you like me to bring her down here, or is that the best?
Nope.
Maybe see if she can take an audience. I'll attend them a little longer, and then we can be rid of them, and I can get my room back eventually.
Am I too weak to sit?
It's painful,
But I could try.
but you can sit up.
Okay, I'll sit up.
He looks over at you. He's like, just sit for now.
Help me put my armor on.
What?
Help me put my armor on.
Your armor?
I'm assuming it's
He's got it
next to me.
shoved up in the end of the bed. It's against the wall. Just mishap.
Yeah, I probably have a shield on top of it. The sword, though, is, I'm going to guess, next to the bed where I could reach it if I had to.
Okay. I'll look at him and see if he reacts at all.
By all means, the quicker you put it on, the faster you can attend Lady Everlight.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll grab the armor from across and start laying it on the bed. Help him on.
So I'll bolt up.
Yeah. Mr. Hostigan, Mr. Cooper, I will go now to see Miss Everlight. But is there anything else you could you ask of me. Anything else you need?
The hospitality here has been more than enough. Thank you.
On the table, you see a candle that's been burning for a few hours. It's halfway burnt down. The wax is dripping onto the table, and it's reflecting and spraying red prismatic light through a pure red statue, slightly translucent. You can only imagine this statue of sitting about yay high off the table, an angel with wings widespread, most likely made out of pure ruby. Well, I will entertain them for a while more while you get an audience.
I was bow and then shuffle on out, or clod out.
Thank you so much, Master Merritt. On the bookcases, you see a bunch of different titles mostly of angels. There's a smattering of Palor and Sun within the names as well. Very vast library of mostly the religion of Palor and the god. He looks over at you guys and quietly at you. He's like, I know what you are. I could tell you stories of angels that would make your skin crawl.
I'll pass, thank you.
Merritt, you head up 3 stories. It's about 5 stories in total. On the 3rd story is your mother's solar. The door is closed at the moment.
No, actually, I don't even knock. I just check the handle.
It's locked.
Okay. Then I knock.
Right.
Ding, 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 ding.
Come in.
It's still locked, Mother.
Use your key.
I don't know where it is.
You hear a little shuffling. Something clacks on a table. Footsteps. She looks at you.
Morning.
She smiles. Gloriosa Everlight. She smiles with her eyes. She's a very, very beautiful woman. She's been losing her eyesight for the past 5 years. She has blonde hair. It's spilling across her shoulders. It goes down to half her back. Very fair skin. Doesn't need to wear makeup. She has just a very natural beauty. Wears a white, pure white tabard. No cloak. Her pants are commoner's pants. She's not wearing shoes at the moment. She's like, come in, sit.
Oh, thank you.
I'll be just a moment. And she goes back to her desk. On her table, in this small stone, humble room, the only thing in here besides the bed, a chair, a table, and a chair for a guest is a tabard that hangs against the wall. And this tabard is bright red, pure red background with a yellow ringed sun, the symbol of Palor. It's very simple. She goes back to her desk and she starts scribbling something onto a large piece of parchment. She's got parchment spread all over this table, some spilling down to the ground, some's on the ground. You see some crumpled up letters in the corner. Looks like she's been going for a while. She's like writing for another 3 minutes before she finally attends to
I pick up a random piece of paper out of the pile.
She looks over. She's like, please don't.
Back mostly where it was.
Mum was very, very curious. Always curious. Keeps writing. Once she finishes, she rolls it up, takes out a metal stamp on top of her desk, drips some wax, and seals it in with the symbol of Palor, and puts it in her pocket. So, Merritt, how can I help you?
I just wanted to say hello.
It's always nice to say hello.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, here, come here, braid my hair. This is a ritual that you guys do.
Okay.
Since you were old enough to braid her hair.
Sure.
She's like, sits back, throws her hair back behind the chair.
Where's your brush?
It's on the table. She
Oh, I didn't see it. So, to the back of her head, I start talking, I guess. So there's 2 gentlemen downstairs who are asking for you, apparently by name.
She's like, yes, you told me about them before. I remember you saying something. What have they been saying?
I'm not certain. They're staying in Father Ramiel's room right now, and he seemed eager to have his space back, and so he's hoping that maybe you'll send them on their way. I'm not entirely sure.
I know they've both been talking about Magnus Monroe, and I have been giving it a lot of thought.
Okay.
I think tonight I will meet with them.
Hmm.
Have them meet me in the Healer's Hall in 30 minutes. I will be working all night.
Yes. Very well. I will certainly do that.
Braid it a little tighter, please. You do your best, which is not too difficult. You have enough time, and you've done this
A lot of
many
practice,
times
probably.
with your mother.
Mm-hmm.
I do miss these talks. I haven't had a chance to talk with you as much lately. I'm really sorry about
What
that.
are you working on so much?
Well, there's just so much going on. I'm going to have you attend me tonight in the audience, and you will know as well.
Oh, very well.
This
In the
is
Healer's
actually
Hall
something she doesn't do with you very often. This is not the first time you've attended her on an audience, but it's not too common.
Okay. Anything I should prepare for?
Say, I'll let you know.
That doesn't sound... So you're saying no. So no.
You can't be prepared for everything, Merritt.
But you could be prepared for some things. Half-hour notice is, for example, not very much. But
You will have
if you
plenty of notice if anything is to happen.
All right. Fine.
Merritt, you know I love you, right?
Of course.
You are my son,
Mhm.
no matter.
No matter. Yes.
She stands up, turns
You're
around.
not
She
dying,
gives you
are
an embrace, a motherly embrace.
Okay.
Go
Why
ahead
are
and roll
you
your
being
insight.
weird?
The first roll of the game.
Yeah, not great.
7.
7. Ah,
Yeah.
Why are you being weird?
Sometimes she's weird. It's later at night. It's about 10 p.m.
Have you been drinking?
Merritt, you know I haven't drunk in a long time.
Well, I don't know that. None of the wine?
No, dear.
All right. It's fine if you did, but just want to figure out why you're doing this.
She smiles, and you can hear her give a motherly chuckle against your chest as she's holding you. She wraps the braid up that you've intricately wove. I was about to say weaved. Wove. And wraps it into a bun, ties it up. Well, dear, you best be along. I'll be in the Healer's Hall in about 30 minutes.
I'll start gathering them. And I stand up and turn around, and my tail, I tap the table twice as I leave.
Is that a ritual?
Yes.
Okay. She smiles.
Can you control your tail?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep. I can't make attacks with it, but it's prehensile enough that I can hold things with it.
That's cool. I wish I had a tail.
Yeah, well, you picked the wrong race, buddy. Your grandpa should have been someone cooler.
Yeah.
So, you leave the room. Back to you two and Father Ramiel's.
Okay. So am I bolted together now?
Yeah, you got all your armor on. The last piece is the leg piece.
And it hurts.
And as you pull it taut up to your hip, it is painful.
Okay.
But you get it strapped in, you bear with it. You can stand with help. Father Amiel is still sitting. He's like, do you need a walking stick?
Can I use my sword in its sheath?
Yeah, but it's a little awkward because the sword's not tall enough, so you don't have that balance
Sure,
at the
I'm
chest.
like down here with it.
It's more like a low cane, and that's not easy to balance on.
Can I make it without a cane? What do I think?
It would hurt.
Would you
You
like
might
me to,
stumble.
Pain's okay.
would
you
you
might
like me
stumble at some
to
point.
take your arm?
No, thank you. I try to walk out under my own power. I'm stubborn and willful.
Of course you are.
I don't want to be a dick about it, though. Before I leave, I will turn and bow my head to Brother Amiel, and I'll say to him, thank you for the hospitality. I appreciate it, and I'm sorry that it put you out to shelter me.
He grabs your wrist, not aggressively, but taut. It's a grip that you weren't expecting
It's a
from
strong
this old
grit.
man.
He's got old man grit, okay?
It's like, would you like to hear that story?
No, thank you. From now on out, I'll make the stories. I'll pull my hand free.
You wrench it free. It doesn't take much.
I don't want to hurt the guy, but I do want to get free.
Mr. Hostigan,
Yes.
I'm very sorry for your loss. I know that there's not words that anyone can give at a time like this. I can only offer maybe someone else's wisdom. And he reaches behind him and he grabs a book. And it's Palor's Graces is the title of the book. I've had a lot of pain in my own life. And I've lost a lot of loved ones, a lot of friends. Maybe this will keep you with a little hope in your life. I've taken the namesake Ramiel. Ramiel was a fallen angel. He followed his own lusts in life and was banished from Palor's Graces. It reminds me that we are all capable of anything in our lives.
That's
He hands
okay.
you the book.
I'm gonna make it right.
Before
Just need help.
I do leave, I do ask the guy, is there anything I can do for you, brother? For the hospitality that you've shown me. If there's a kindness that you need, and it's in my power, I would do it before I leave this town, although my time here is short.
I don't ask for kindness for myself. I just ask that you return the kindness that I've shown you to others. He reaches back to the table and grabs the bright red angel that stands about this tall, and he's like, keep it as a reminder.
It must be worth a small fortune. I can't take this.
I have no need for gold or money, and you have need for light. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. He presses the angel into your hand, and it sits around your hand. The angel spread out, the wings spread out wide across your palm. You know it's at least worth probably 100 gold. Easily.
Thank you again for your kindness. If there's any way that I can repay it to those that deserve it, I will do so. In the back.
He doesn't argue with you, although it looks like he, even without insight, at one point it looks like he's gonna say something and he stops. And he shakes his head.
Thank you for your time.
Took a while to get your armor on. At this point, Merritt is already mostly on his way back, and as you guys exit this long hall filled with books and dim light, you open the door and you see Merritt coming down a pretty long hallway in its own right, filled with tabards and stone floor. His footsteps are echoing across the distance. It's much better lit within these halls. All the torches are kept at all times. Sconces against the walls, maybe every 20 feet. There's not really any place where there's shadow. Well, real dark shadow. You know what I mean. Shut up. And you guys now see Merritt approaching you.
Okay.
Gentlemen, I see you've gotten dressed. My mother will see you. Lady Everlight would like to meet you in the hospital wing.
Lead the way.
Healer's Hall.
Yeah.
Healer's Hall is what we call it around here. I wanted to use, casual terms, in case you're not familiar with the name of the building.
Go, priest. We will follow.
You guys are on your way down this hallway for a good while until you open up into some main chambers. At one point, you actually pass through the main chamber, the main entrance of this place. And there are people lined against the walls on pews. Some look injured. Some, they don't look as injured, but everyone here, for the most part, besides the priests, look like soldiers. And
Soldiers of the Resistance, or
soldiers of the Resistance, as far as you can tell.
if I recognize anyone, I'll nod to them.
I don't have dice. Who needs dice, right?
My background says that any soldiers from the previous force that I belong to will pay me respect due to my station.
Good for you.
Yeah, it's like they're all dead,
Yeah.
or you betrayed them.
That's
You
right,
wrote
boss.
that in. You built that into your story.
I did. In my mind, though, I didn't betray him. I did what had to be done.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
can
yeah.
see it however they want to, but my character's like, yeah, I did the right thing.
Here we go. You see a couple people that you would recognize, part of the Resistance. One is laying on the bench. There's a few soldiers around sitting down, and then spread all the way across is a man that his leg is just opened up and ringed from the bone. It looks painful. And they're actually, at this moment, lifting him up onto a portable bed, a cot, and they look like they're going to carry him down this long hallway. They pick him up, they start moving him, and you guys are basically trailing about 20 steps behind these gentlemen, walking down another hall.
Is he still alive?
He's alive and moaning. It smells like death and decay. It's not a pleasant sight in here. As you guys are going down this brightly lit hall, the smell only gets worse and amplifies. It hits your nose and it burns it. You can smell the smell of blood, the smell of decay, rot. You keep going further down this hall, and there's these large oak doors. They're about 20 feet tall, double doors. And as you approach, there's a priest there that unlatches two big latches and then cranks on something and pushes the door open. Once he gets it all unlatched, it just slides open, even though they're so large and heavy. And once it opens into this chamber, this hall of death. They call it the Healer's Hall. It used to be the main chambers as you knew it, the place of worship or offering or prayer. It's been converted into somewhere to bring the dying, the dead, the sick. And there are a lot of dying. There are a lot of dead. As you walk into this chamber, you see all the pews that used to be here have been broken down, and there's some beds that are lined up in rows upon rows upon rows, and there's aisles in between those beds. A couple priests rolling carts down each aisle, On these carts, you see stacks of bandage and old bandage and bedpans, and it's pretty gross. As you pass the priest at the double doors, he hands everyone some rags. You can use those for your hands, they're clean. And he hands you, if you want, a scarf for your face, if you need to cover up the smell.
Rather be
It has
like a covering.
a slight scent to it.
I'll take one.
Pull it up to your nose.
I mean, I probably smelled the smell of death before. They shit themselves all the time when you kill on a battlefield. It's pretty horrible. So,
It smells like a battlefield.
okay. So I'm not, like, new to the smell of it. I would just walk in. I know what hell smells like.
And there's some other priests that are attending sick. And the sick go all the way back this chamber.
You said it's like 10 p.m., right?
10 p.m.
Can we assume that I've already blown my 2 healing spells for the day?
You can assume that if you had spell slots, they've been spent today.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've probably used them to heal some of the sick in your mother's footsteps. She is down there in one of the aisles. She's talking to someone quietly. And that person is attending one of the wounded. He has a scarf wrapped around his face as well. And why don't you describe yourself minus the scarf?
I would have like very light olive colored skin, long dark hair, about 6 foot. So,
Do you wear any bright clothes,
no,
dull clothes?
it's a lot of earth tones. A hood over my head.
And she's actually standing by you. You've talked with her a few times, but she's showing you some tips that you can use for healing people. Do you have the medicine skill? I know you have a healer's kit.
Where are my skills at here? Yes, I do.
So,
Nice.
you spent some time here. It's not fun. It's not an easy job, but there's a lot of wounded, and you've been doing your service while you're staying. These people, some you can tell are beyond your knowledge and your skills, and those people are being attended to by the only cleric besides Lady Everlight, who they just don't have enough manpower in this temple. They don't have enough people that can heal all these wounded. But she's showing you something as a group approaches. I would like you to attend this as well.
Alright.
She's talked to you a little bit about Magnus Monroe, who you are very familiar with. And she's told you about these gentlemen in a quick summary. She hasn't given you a lot of information. But they approach as she's still working. Gentlemen, come. Merritt, please stay.
Mother, Mr. Hostigan, Mr. Cooper. These are the two that have been asking for you.
So, gentlemen, I've heard a little of your stories. Not enough, not from you. And I don't like to take my information except from the source. So, I bid you to speak. Mr. Delaron Cooper, is it?
What would you know?
Well, I know that you've asked for me by name,
I have.
but I don't know the reason.
I have a petition of the temple. It would suit you.
A petition, you say?
Yes.
And what would you petition?
It's wrapped up in my story. My name is Delaron Cooper. I'm the last to be unfaithful. I was one of the ones at the Battle of Monsters where we killed innocent men and children in order to cut the supply line of Mad Magnus. I would ask the temple to offer financial recompense if they can for the widows and families of those men and children that we killed. I will give you all the money I have in my pocket and swear by my sword to make restitution when I return if I do. That is what I wish to ask you. I no longer follow Pelor, but I know that those that do have mercy and kindness in their hearts, so I beseech you now.
And do you know all these that you've harmed? Do you know their families?
Only their faces. But the church has resources that I do not have. You could
As you
extend
can
your
see,
reach.
my resources are spread very thin.
I understand.
And she waves her hands around this hall that is just filled with wounded soldiers. As you're walking around, you hear moans and groans, sometimes whimpers, and even every once in a while a scream. And priests that are priests in name but not in magic, attending the wounded. She starts walking and talk. She makes sure everyone does as well.
Sir, I don't believe we've met. I am Merritt Everlight.
Garavan.
If only we'd met under better circumstances.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We should hurry this up so I can get back to the wounded.
Of course. That is why we're walking and talking.
Mm-hmm.
Do you accept his help still?
No, I didn't accept this up before.
Oh, okay.
No,
Would you like to use this staff?
No, thank you.
Give me...
If I use lay on hands on myself for the day, will it help a lot
gone.
better? It is gone.
Yeah.
Okay. Even
I'm
Rachel
assuming all your
has just gone.
beneficial spell slots are gone for the day.
Okay.
That's just where we start.
Right.
But I'm not going to put you in the comment and be like, hey, you have no stuff. Ha ha ha.
That's fine.
That's not what I'll do.
I mean, most of the stuff I do is swing the sword anyways.
I know. She walks you guys past more wounded. She bends down near one of the priests and says something very quietly that you can't hear into his ear. And he walks off to another end of the chamber. So, you would petition us to pay recompense to the people that we don't know. It wasn't very well thought out, but it's not. It's something we will do if we have the resources, whether you wanted it or not. That is just who we are. We believe that everyone is worth redemption. Even you.
Everybody's wrong sometimes. I hand her my pouch of gold. This might help.
How much is it?
Only 9.
9 gold.
That's all I have. Like, this
Like,
might help.
Please keep your gold. Use it for you.
I will use it to further my personal quest.
And what is that?
To find and destroy Magnus Monroe.
Tell me, do you know why you woke up in Father Ramiel's chambers? What would a man in this very hall, why would they try to slit your throat? And why would I have to stop them?
I assume that some of my past comrades had taken my actions and decided that I was not acting in their best favor. It's possible that the things that I had done could be seen in those lights, in that light.
And how do you see it?
I did what had to be done, ma'am. Sometimes life is full of hard choices. I made one.
Life is full of hard choices all the time.
Agreed.
Mr. Hostigan,
I need someone to come with me to resurrect my fiance.
I've heard your plight. This is something that's beyond me. There might be people out there that can do this for you. I have heard that your fiance has been turned. Being turned is once you destroy that body, they are gone. And only the most powerful of clerics or people that know how to bring back the dead can. That's not something I can do. I will do whatever I can to help you. Do you know where the body is?
Body is most likely with Magnus. I was informed that he took her with him.
The body, except for those most powerful, is something that is needed in the resurrection ritual.
I plan on seeing Magnus again and being the one to throw my sword into his chest.
Mr. Hostigan,
Yes.
if you wish, you can accompany me on my quest, and I will retrieve her body for you.
Be most kind.
And where does your quest lead, everyone?
To hell and back if need be, man.
Do you know where you're going?
Not yet.
Do you know what you're doing?
Killing, most likely.
I agree. Something needs to be done. In these winter months, Mad Magnus has pulled back his armies. He has not crossed the Wailing Wall for some time. He does not have the capability to do that in Glim. Once Glim has settled and we are into the warmer months of the year, I know that he will be taking his armies past the wall again. Once that snow thaws, I don't see any hope for Oakdale as we are. This town is not fortified against an army of his size.
My hope is he'll be dead by then.
Cut off the head, kill the snake. Sound strategy.
If that's possible, it's not by you. I know what you want. I know you want to be the ones to take him on right now, but that is not your place. He is much more powerful. I have met him. And he was much more powerful than me back then. But I do offer some help. I know some people. I know King Galen in Riverstorm. He could be of help to us. He could send reinforcements if someone could convince him.
That's the wrong way, man. I'm sorry.
I admire your valor, but you may as well shout at a mountain. Until you greatly increase your power, there's not much that you could do.
Just because a task is impossible doesn't mean that someone shouldn't try.
You can barely walk down a hallway.
True. It will just take me longer to get to him. Maybe by the time that I see him face to face, I'll have increased in power. Or not. This is the thing that I have sworn to do.
And you can do it. I will help you in that.
Committing suicide before your act
How
will
you
not
me?
help you achieve your goal.
How old are you, son?
Old enough.
I'm like, I appreciate your encouragement to do what you think is right. How will you help me if I do this task for you?
If you give me the reinforcements, go to Riverstorm, inquire of King Galen, anything you can do for this town. You do care about the towns across the wall, correct?
I did what I did for the people here.
For the people of Woodhaven.
On this side of the wall. Yes, ma'am.
We won't last unless we have reinforcements. It's just a fact. We will have to leave our town and head east, or head west, actually. If we do that, he will continue pressing, and he will press his armies into the heart of the world, and he'll eventually take everything.
I've lost track of time while I've been infirm. How long do we have until the end of Glim?
This is the first month of the year. We have 3 months until the end of Glim.
So we have 3 months to get to Riverstone, convince the king to get back. We'll
It
need
shouldn't
horses.
take more than a month.
We'll need horses. My leg is bad.
We can get you guys what you need. Merritt, you will accompany these gentlemen.
Are you sure that's wise? man?
Are you sure that's wise, Mom?
She smiles. Merritt, you may be young in age, but you are wise beyond your years. Smart beyond your years.
There we go.
Yeah, right.
I've seen the things you can do, and I know that you can do this for us. These gentlemen need light, and you are a great source of light.
Don't worry, son. I'll keep you safe if I can.
I would like you to accompany them as well. These lands are dangerous, and you know them. You have done me great service here, and I appreciate that.
Thank you for taking me in. I know these woods better than anybody. Let's go. Let's do this.
Let me write up some documents tonight. I'll give you a writ that you can hand King Galen. That should give you an audience. From there, it's on you to convince him to send us reinforcements.
What kind of man is the king?
He's a good man. I haven't seen him in a long time, maybe 10 years. He lost his father at the Wailing Wall. He came through at that time, and he was injured himself. His father would not come back. His soul remains.
You said it was beyond you to revive anybody if they don't have the body. Do you know anybody that currently is capable of doing that?
There are some. Few in this world, but there are some. I know there's some in Sharanor. That magic is not handed out freely. Obviously, there are many in this world with people they've lost.
Fear not, Mr. Hostigan. We will get the body.
Perhaps the sun will rise again for her.
If not, Magnus will pay.
You'll all stay in my chambers tonight. I've had them put in some extra beds.
I scowl at you.
I was like, what?
I'll be here working all night. As she says that, she is working on one of the wounded. He's got a gash in his leg, and she creates this little spirit dove. It's very translucent and wispy, and it flows through his leg, unforms into a fog of like a cloud, reforms into a dove as it passes through. And as it passes through, you see the flesh start to stitch together and the muscles start to pull tight, and they form and close the wound on this soldier's leg. And she moves the dove as she's walking and talking to different wounds. The next person has a wound in his shoulder, and the dove flies through, and as it flies through, the shoulder stitches up and moves it on. She does that for a little bit. I'll be here all night. There's more work for me than ever in these times. Stay tonight. Regain your strengths. The dove flies through your leg and heals the wound as it passes through. Completely stitches it all up. It's an instant soothing feeling to your limp and your pain.
Awesome. I bow my head.
Looks like we're roommates.
I mean, you do have your own room if you want.
Yes! I say in-game.
Yeah, right.
And you actually have your own room right now, since you've been here a while.
So, will you show me your mother's rooms?
Right this way, gentlemen.
You were all relieved. Garavon, I'd like to talk to you a little.
Alright. Elf, good night.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
Alright, we'll walk out.
Alright, so you
I'll show
guys
you
all
chambers.
head off to the chambers. You hear the footsteps fade away in the distance. And all that takes over your senses now is the smell of death mixed in with the slightly sweet smell. It's probably like honey and water that was poured into this scarf that is blocking out some of the death and decay. You've been here a while, and it is hard to get past. And she continues walking as the dove dissipates, and she walks over to one man who it looks like his leg has turned black.
Oh no.
And there's a priest there trying to work on him. She bends over and whispers something to him, and he walks off. Mr. Aether, you are something else, aren't you? Well, you've asked that I give you my blessing, that I do what I can for you in your times of trouble, in times of need. I give that to you freely. You have the blessing of Pelor. The priest walks back at this point, and he's got a saw, and she takes it. She's like, please, and she hands you one end.
Oh, you gotta do the deed. That's rough.
Right. She goes and holds him down, and when she presses her hands against his shoulders and pushes him down, it's almost scary how forceful it is. Not aggressively, but strength-wise. Okay. And she keeps him held down by the shoulders. She's like, need to cut up by the hip.
Want to roll for that?
Take your time.
You're like,
Constitution save, maybe.
Yeah, I got him.
Give
We're
me...
gonna need to cauterize that.
Roll a d20 and add your Constitution modifier.
Nice.
That's +1.
There you go.
All right. Good deal.
6.
Oh no!
And you're not... Yeah, you don't have Constitution as your sword.
Fantastic.
You put the saw to the flesh, and you take a moment. As you push down, you see the blood form up on the blades and spill across the leg, just barely pressing in. And there's a moment of hesitation. Like, you must cut. You have it in yourself. You can roll again. She's giving you the help action.
It means you have advantage. Roll twice. Take the higher.
19.
Yeah.
You take a deep breath and you start moving the saw. You have seen this done in here. It's painful, and the man, who now has a stick in between his teeth, was sleeping. His eyes shoot open, and you hear a through the muffled scream of the stick.
It's rough.
And he shakes, but his legs are strapped in until you start cutting. And you cut, and you can feel the bone, and you keep cutting. And it is a nasty bit of business, but takes you about 20 seconds before you get that leg cut off. And once it pops off, the last tendons stretch and snap. You see a tendon recoil and
It's really uncomfortable.
yeah. She lets go of his shoulders. He is strapped in on the arms and he's still squirming about, and she grabs a tourniquet and wraps it around the leg.
Is the stump flailing? Is the stump flailing? Come on.
The stump or the leg?
Flail the stump. That's not strapped down anymore.
Yeah, it's trying to, but she starts tourniqueting it.
Okay.
And wrapping around it, and the blood flow stops pretty rapidly. We do thank you for everything you've done. I give you my blessing freely. Walk with me.
Okay.
She walks you back into the very end of the chamber. At this point, the beds have stopped. There's almost a line. There's about 20 feet of empty space, and one pew in front of the altar of Pelor. She lights one candle on the altar, and when she does that, all the lights in that entire end of the chamber light up around this enormous stained glass mural. On this stained glass mural is an old wise man who you can only think of as Palor, with a sun behind his head, almost as if it's a crown. There's some hills and some mountains in front of him, and it's huge. It's probably about 30 feet high. And all the candles reflect and bounce the lights back into the chamber, and there's a spray, a prism of color on the ground. I want to ask you a favor.
What is it?
My son, Merritt. He's a good kid. I've taught him a lot as he's grown up. He doesn't have the mind of money, and he hasn't been in hardship. There might be hardship on his journey. I want to ask you to protect him.
He seems a little squishy.
He is an amazing man. He's grown up so much. He's been through a lot that he doesn't even know.
Does he have any training at all?
You're hardcore coffee.
He's well versed in magics. He's been doing his lessons daily. And he's been helping me in the halls. He's seen death and dying. He is not new to that.
Well, you've showed me some kindness, so I'll take care of him. I'll make sure.
Here, sit. She points to the pew. It's a little gentler than I said it. Sit. She sits down next to you. She grabs your hands, and you can see them start to glow. You don't have to let her grab your hands.
No, I'll let her.
Like, she just sits there and she starts chanting in a language you don't know and that you've never heard. And she lets go of your hand and she starts drawing some symbols in the air. Symbols you don't understand, and as she does it, there's a traced line that starts disappearing just as fast as she writes it. But you do see the full symbol form. And then another. And once she completes this, it actually takes a long time of silence and thought. A full hour. Once she finally finishes, and every once in a while she'll talk to you. She'll say things. It's not great conversation, but it's calming and it's soothing. For the next day, you'll have a D4 on all saves.
Sweet. Nice.
This is the blessing of Palor.
I'll make sure everybody gets there.
Rest well tonight. Take care of my son.
You have my word.
With that, she gets up, walks back to the sick, immediately starts attending to them again.
Okay, can I just go to bed?
You can.
Yeah, let's go to bed.
All right.
Early morning.
So because it's Glen, do we have winter clothes? Or
Did
should
you
I
buy
buy
winter
some
clothes?
before I leave?
You have winter clothes.
Okay.
You're all wearing
Like a big
enough furs and leather and boiled leather that'll keep you warm. You have some boiled leather under your plate armor,
I don't have plate. I only have chain.
chain
I
armor.
don't start with plate. That'd
That's
be amazing, but no.
And you all rest for the evening. You will gain all your spell slots back that you've never used yet. You have not taken damage, so you don't need hit points. We are going to be playing by the rules. I know we've always played it wrong, but you get all your hit points back after a full rest.
Sweet.
That's the actual way to play it.
It is.
And you get half your hit dice back at the end of a long rest. We're going to be playing with the armor rules. If you have not read them in Xanathar's, if you sleep in your armor, that's fine, but you don't get all your hit dice back, and I don't think you heal all the way. I'll double check that later when it matters. But it's called sleeping in armor. It's something you can do. You don't recover exhaustion, things like that. It's not good when you're already tired and hurt.
It's only okay if you're well rested.
Yeah. Anything you guys want to do tonight or when you wake up?
I mean, I am a soldier, and so I imagine that I oil my armor, sharpen my sword, and now that my leg is good, I do some physical exercises, try to limber it up. It's probably still a little bit stiff. It's probably always going to be a little bit stiff, so I'm going to justify my negative dexterity modifier.
Okay.
But I'll stretch it and work out a little bit, and then go to bed.
What was the date again?
The 13th.
13th of...
I have a calendar here.
Yeah.
I was actually going to give you guys a calendar, and I forgot.
That's what
so
I was looking for.
I will include that next game. You'll have a calendar, hopefully a printout. Maybe Brian can do that for us, because he's better at printing shit out than I am.
Agreed.
I got a free printer at work,
Right.
if I remember to go into that office.
It is nice. World.
And more time than we do.
Well,
It
Less-
is
less
the
than I used to.
13th of Jarmic.
Jarmic. That was the day of...
The day of Thar. And the week goes like this. Mist for Monday. And then on. Pel. I'll have a calendar. You don't have to try it.
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
It's Mist, Pel, Wak, W-A-U-K, Thar, Kor, Shar, Sune. 7 days. The calendar's days and the calendar's months all are some form of some god in name or in full name.
I have a question. The small town that I came from, where is it?
Where is it? You never said.
I think it's probably close to the wall, which is why I joined the resistance, I'm sure.
Do you know what it was named?
I didn't think about it.
Well,
It's a small
You
town.
have time. You'll
Sure.
think about it.
I'll think about it.
Same for you, Alex.
Yep.
Whatever your town name is. When it matters, I'm going to put you on the spot, and if you don't have the name, you're going to sit there and look dumb for a few seconds till you think of it. Or you can think of it now. Fair warning. Anyone else want to do anything tonight, tomorrow?
I'm gonna go through my bag and probably sleep with. I pull out a small notebook and I keep it pretty near my heart as I sleep. I probably end up taking out my sword.
If you're not doing anything with it, I'll show you how to sharpen your sword and oil your armor.
Son of a blacksmith, so I probably.
Okay.
And if you do help me at all, you probably notice it's like a brand new sword.
Okay.
I thought that was your expletive.
So no.
Son of a blacksmith. Son of a blacksmith.
Son of a yeah. I'll compliment you on your sword. That's nice craftsmanship.
Thanks, I did it.
Did you want to do anything tonight, Garavon?
No, I just really want to go to sleep early so I can wake up extremely early.
If you wanted, the priest, as you were leaving, did tell you you could bathe tonight if needed.
Well, I'll probably have to bathe.
Weekly bath.
I scrub these giblets.
Get the film off of those
Yeah,
guys.
I've been working with blood for however long, and yeah, let's get all this blood off.
And it hasn't just been today.
Tonight,
Yeah.
tonight.
I do not want to catch anything.
I will before I crash too. I'm gonna take out the statue that what's his face gave me. Father, what was his name?
Ramiel.
Father Ramiel. And I'll just look at it a little bit and see how the light reflects through it. And like, I mean, the name Ramiel, he said it was a fallen angel, right? So I think it's ironic, but also fitting that I ran into him. And then after a little while in contemplation, I'll put it away.
It's translucent as you hold it up to the light. The light does spill through. It's not completely translucent, but
Sure.
there are parts of it that are very thin.
So the light,
It's
light refracts
really
through it.
well crafted.
I hope I don't have to sell it later for something.
Drugs.
I
I'm thinking-
hope I don't have to sell it.
No, I don't. My character wouldn't want to, but if it comes down to it, he would
Yeah.
sell his fucking grandmother.
Statue for
Do you want to
armor?
do anything?
In the morning, but not
Okay.
not tonight.
We're gonna skip the night. Unless you want to roleplay your sleeping.
No.
Show everyone just. I mean, he can't lay on his sides because of his horns, so.
It's all about his door sleep. Yeah.
And I never would have thought of that. There you go.
Put some blocks next to your face and just sleep face down.
I cork them both.
I want to wake up early and do some calisthenics before I get going.
Morning comes. Merit.
So after I get up and do my morning,
Devotional.
yeah,
Your morning devotional is with some of the other children. They hold a class, and it's of all ages, from 5 to 17. There's a couple of kids that are older than you even. But in total, there's only about 11 children in this class. And today it's just devotions. Usually Andromeda's father would host this class. He is not here today. He hasn't been here for the past few days, and you already do know that Lady Everlight, your mother, has sent him somewhere. She hadn't told you what for.
Sure. So I will approach, after all the morning prayers and rituals, I'll approach the little drow girl named Andromeda.
You walk up to Andromeda. She's got very dark, fair skin. She's a very young, 7?
I wrote 4.
4?
Yeah.
Okay, she's too young for these devotions, but she's here anyways.
I'll change it. She's 6.
It doesn't matter.
I'll rearrange that.
Either way, 4, 6, 10. She
Really?
has the smile of an angel, and she looks up at you, and she looks up to you, and she gives you a big, tight hug as you approach her. She jumps into your arms. Even though she's small, it's still a little heavy for you, but you manage to hold on to her.
Her name's Andromeda.
Oh.
Andromeda.
Andromeda marked for death.
No!
That's always how this goes. It's up to you. Slur!
Whoever I care about.
She's like, Merit!
Good
She's
morning,
excited to
Andy.
see you. I heard you're leaving.
Yeah, I've got to go on a little adventure.
Just like my daddy. That's so fun.
Yeah. Have you been all right without him?
Yeah.
Okay.
She hesitated for a moment, but then she smiles when she looks up at you.
It does get sad sometimes, but that's okay.
Like, I don't want you to leave.
Well, sometimes the sun sets, sometimes the sun rises. Things change, and that's okay too.
And she giggles.
Yeah, you hold down the fort for me, okay? You think you can protect all these other kids?
Nah.
I didn't
She
think so.
laughs.
Well, you, just stay you, okay?
She smiles. And you can see all the other kids have collected in their little groups. There's a group of 3 over here, and a couple over here, and a couple over there. You know that she doesn't have anyone. She has you.
Mm-hmm.
And when you leave, that she's pretty much by herself.
Mm-hmm.
Stay cool.
Do I know if she has, like, is it like does she have acquaintances? Am I aware of, like, or is she full on outcast?
She's not outcast.
Okay.
Just she's not in a clique.
Gotcha.
It's high school for children.
High school first.
She's friendly with most people.
Mm-hmm.
Just some older kids are less friendly to have the little ones at their heels. You know how it is.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Only 2
I say, so when I come back, I'm just gonna ask how it all went, and so you take notes, okay? You let me know.
Okay.
You get good at writing. Practice your letters.
She's like, I learned to spell my name.
That's great. The whole thing, or just Andy?
The whole thing.
Oh,
That's a long name.
Yeah, it is. I can't even say it. That's why I call you Andy.
She's like, your name's easy, and she grabs a little quill that she has in her pocket and starts writing your name, but she writes the E backwards, and it looks pretty bad. And she spends her time on it, squiggly lines and all. And as she writes it out, she draws a big happy face, bink, and then 2 horns, tink.
Yeah.
And it looks awful. And she hands it to you. She's like, "You keep this with you."
Absolutely, darling. Thank you.
And she laughs and giggles.
All right. Well,
Stop it.
I'm sorry.
you stay safe. And remember to say your prayers. And I kind of rub her on the head.
It's fine.
Okay.
You didn't earthquake too much.
That's good. I keep bonking it though,
Fat
because
man.
it's like the thing goes right here next to my foot.
I'll try to do better next time.
It's the footer that's the problem, not the thing.
That's cool. We'll reposition it next time. And she goes back and she goes start her second set of devotions. At that point, you can go to the cafeteria and eat.
Mm-hmm.
It's small. It
look at
doesn't
my-
fit enough people.
Tiny bowl of lentils.
Some people take their food and move on. And yeah, the food is rationed. You are on some of the worst food of your life. You might be used to it. You might be used to no food.
Right. Any food is good food to you.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
But either way, the town is on rations. It's not just this temple. Some temples eat better than others, but this temple follows Palor. And they believe that what they have is for everyone.
And then Hexor eats like kings. You fuckers.
Everyone gathers in the eatery. Food is served. It's bland and it goes down quick. But you're all reunited. There's
Morning,
some other
gentlemen.
soldiers that have been healed up and they're sitting in there, some by themselves, a couple together.
I will not sit with them.
They don't seem to pay attention to you
It's good.
or know you.
I just know that one of them tried to cut my throat, so.
Did you all sleep well?
I did.
We should go. Now. I think the soldier will agree with me.
That may be prudent.
This is no need to waste the lentils we have been given.
Damn. Just like slam my lentils. My bowl
See
down,
him
I'm like,
slog the bowl down. Some of it spills out the side and lentils through the beard and onto his cloth over armor. Some into the furs.
Cool. I'll brush some of it off. And I'm like, and I'm done. Somewhere in this building is someone who attempted to murder me. I don't know who it is. So the best thing that I could do is to put distance between me and whoever that person happens to be.
You've heard rumor of this. You have heard that he was exiled. She did not say that.
Oh, the person who tried to do it? She didn't tell me that, though, so I don't know. I intentionally did not ask your mother for his location or his name because I would be forced to meet justice out upon him, and perhaps he is entitled to his opinion. But we should leave.
Very well. Though it would be dishonest of me if I did not tell you that the one who has angered you and the one that you likely have angered is no longer here in this building among us.
I don't hold it against him.
That is good. That is very wise of you. However, I'm saying he is out in the wide green yonder.
I bear him no anger. If I come across him, I will kill him.
Well, what? Here's hoping he doesn't introduce
won't-
himself
Mayor.
as that.
I won't
Person.
kill him because I'm mad at him. I'll kill him because he's capable of killing an unarmed man, and men like that should not walk free. There is a difference. Maybe a small
Yeah.
one, but an important one.
It would be an awful thing if someone were to walk around after they attempted to or successfully killed someone unarmed or undefended.
Agreed.
Everyone eats their soup quiet.
Guess just made this awkward.
Well, let's go. Let's see if...
I don't think I'm
At
smart
that
to pick
point,
a-
Yeah, I know.
you guys are just finishing up your soup, conversation, and awkwardness, and there's some shuffling of footsteps in and out, but you hear a loud sound of heavy footfall. And you've heard these footsteps before. It's like cling, cling,
no.
full greaves, cling,
Oh, shit.
cling.
This is bad.
And when you hear Merritt,
Anders!
you look up and it is Aaron Anders.
It's gotta be.
I do this. I go,
He has white, stark white hair. It's shaved on the sides and longer on top and combed backwards down.
business in the front, party in the back.
He has a white tabard, completely white as the town guard's tabard. It does not have any faith symbols on it because it's the town guard and the town is open to all different religions and faiths. Full plate armor, greaves, a giant warhammer on his back, and a loud, booming, and jolly voice. His armor has been polished over and over again, but it'll never be polished enough to take out all the dents and scratches and wear and age, no matter what he does. The armor is old and used.
I stand and give him a little bow. Light's blessing on you.
Light's blessing on you. So, I heard you're going on an adventure. He looks around. Are these your companions?
It would seem so. These lucky gentlemen get to accompany me on my journey to being a cleric of Palar.
Well, isn't that just grand?
Yeah.
I've been charged with providing you some resources.
Oh, excellent.
He's like,
I was trying to stock
anything
up
you
on some
need
lentils
for your
now.
travels.
Do you have a magic carpet?
We need horses.
You're a funny kid sometimes, Merritt. Horses are already in the works. It's like, I have a proposition for you gentlemen as well.
Okay.
We have a shipment going out. It's going out to the deep marsh. It's going to be picking up some papyrus and taking it down to Riverstorm. I've
That's where
run
we're
into some
going.
troubles, and we've lost some guards recently across the wall, and I need someone to accompany this wagon.
Sure. I'd love to ride in a wagon.
I request if you can meet it. There have been many soldiers here recently who have come in wounded, maybe dying, because of the conflict with Mad Magnus. Some of them must have left things behind. Is there any way that we could outfit ourselves from what's left over from them if it's better than what we have now before we undertake this journey?
Unfortunately, that's not mine to give. Those armors go straight to the High Priest, and they're being outfitted to go defend Oakdale.
I understand.
I'll give you what I can.
Your armor does look very nice, though, so I imagine it's about as good as anything you'd find.
I'll pay you whatever I would have paid the scouts that I've lost. You can have their wages.
I guess. I mean, we're going there anyway.
It's gonna take you. It's gonna take you a few days journey extra.
What's that?
You could travel much quicker on horse.
Oh.
It will take a little longer,
Oh, okay.
and it's a little out of the way.
One more question, sir. I was wondering if the body of... give me 1 second here. The body of Tarvis Greenfellow was recovered from Woodhaven.
I don't know any Tarvis.
He was the commanding officer. He took orders from you, sir.
Are you sure he took orders from me? I've been in the town guard for a long time.
Oh, did you read that part of the backstory?
He's just part of the town guard. He's not.
Oh, he's not.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. All right, never mind. Okay.
You might have thought that, though. Maybe.
He was taking those orders out of here, out of Oakdale, right?
Tarvis? Didn't ever say.
Oh, okay, never mind. Then that didn't happen. I just asked about his body.
You ask about his body.
Yeah.
And again, he gives the answer. I don't know any Tarvis.
He was the commander of the forces that stood at Woodhaven.
So, it will take you a little longer. You will have to accompany a wagon, and they just can't go as fast as horses. You have to go a little out of your way. I'll try to make up the time with money.
The essence. How long will it take them to get from here to
So each hex,
Riverstone?
I guess you can't see the hexes here, so each hex here takes 2 days on horse, 3 days on wagon, 4 days on foot.
So 50% faster.
In the winter, it takes 1 extra day, but because you're traveling with a ranger, you don't have penalties for difficult terrain.
Sweet. That's awesome.
You're welcome.
Yeah, man.
So those numbers stand.
About 24 days to get from
Deep
here.
Marsh is here.
Okay.
It would be 3 days per hex.
So about a week to Deep Marsh, and then
It would be 3, 6, 9.
And then 12, 15, 18,
yeah.
what, 21, 24, almost a month. Almost 30 days. How
It's
much
like-
time do we have to the end of the glen?
3 months.
Okay.
All right, you have 3 months.
We can do it. We can have it.
And we have to be. This is where we need to be.
Riverstorm.
Riverstorm. Oh,
And this
I thought
is
we were going
where-
someplace else. Oh, so it's kind of on the way.
Well, yeah, we're going from here, picking up a shipment in the Deep Marsh, and bringing it to Riverstorm. Is that what's going on?
So
And then
18 days
that'll
or
be
so.
about a month, and we have to get to
2, 3,
convince them.
4, 5, 6, 7.
7, that's not bad.
21
days.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's doable.
Approximate.
Yeah, that's definitely doable.
I thought we were going to Riverstone.
Redstone.
Oh, Redstone, yeah. I can't read from that.
Now we're going down the
Riverstone.
river,
Okay.
and we're going to try to get them to send reinforcements back up.
Mhm.
And so we need to give them at least a month's travel time.
Gentlemen, follow me.
Mm.
He walks you outside to the stables. As you walk out, it is blinding bright. The sun is fully out. The snow is clung to the cracks and crannies of this cobblestone road. The buildings are large and boisterous, all made out of stone, different colors, and you can tell the inner city inside these walls is very nice. There's many temples within these walls. Temples of Pelor, temples of Kor, temples of Thar. There are temples of gods that you would never agree with in your life. But as long as their actions are within the laws of the town, they're allowed to practice their religions. The Tower of the Gods is the main attraction of this city. You can see it from miles away, and as you guys walk out, it breaches the rooftops of these buildings in front of you. It is monumental, and that's where the High Priest lives. There's very few people walking around the city at this time of morning and this cold. The cold air is still really chill to do anything. You do hear the sounds ringing away from some blacksmith shop farther away. There's a little hustle and bustle of wagons coming and going, and the streets are mostly clear. Snow is pushed up to the sides of each building so the paths can be walked upon. And he leads you all out to the stables. Gentlemen, you all have a horse. Unless you don't ride.
Pick up where you can ride.
Maybe not necessarily well, but
You can pick it up on the way.
yep. All right, we'll see what happens.
You have experience?
I don't know.
Animal handling is because that's
Yeah.
about, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Huh. Great. You could be my teacher.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Your voice is cheerful.
As you guys are talking, you see your breath pouring
I'm behind
out.
him. I'm like,
Yeah, as you guys are talking, you see your breath pouring out from your mouth. It's coming out in clouds. It's crisp. This is your first big adventure.
It's exciting.
Are you ready?
No.
He throws a saddle over one of the horses. It's got a saddle bag attached to him. Each one does have a saddle bag with it. It's like, I kind of thought that. And in the saddle bag, he pulls out a nice knapsack for an adventurer. It's a little smaller, but it's a bag that has some tears and tatters. It's got some drawings on it out of ink. Little scribbles here and there, and it has his name attached to it. When I traveled more, I took this bag with me. You can have it. Keep it safe. Come talk to me. And he steps to the side where you guys are out of earshot. Barrett, it's a dangerous world out there. And
Sure.
I have a favor.
To ask or to give?
To ask.
Ah, okay. How can I help you?
My brother, he lives in Riverstorm. His name is James Anderson. When you get there, can you give him a letter? I put it in the bag.
Of course.
He works at the Rusty Nail. It's in the Shipwrights District. I ask that you just let him know I'm sorry about the way that we met last time. Tell him that I would like to see his face again. And tell him our roots run deep. He'll know what it means. It's all in this, and we have to do another letter.
Yes, of course, sir.
Don't
That
open it.
Seems no, of course not. It seems like a small favor. Is there nothing else I can do for you?
No, that's enough.
Roots run deep. Very well. I imagine my mother is still tending to the wounded. Keep an eye on her, as always.
As always.
All right. Very well. Now, I'll bow and turn and walk back to the horses.
He actually gives you a good side embrace. It's tight.
Side.
And he's basically the uncle you've never had.
Sure.
He's a funkle.
The awkward uncle that, every kid has just because they call him uncle.
Yeah.
That's it.
The fun uncle. The funkle.
So, the little stable boy is out there. He's a young kid. Dirty straw hair. He's throwing the saddle over the horses. He's filling up some of the saddlebags and some of the feed bags with hay. It's like, so, you guys need any lessons as you go? He's attaching some of the harnesses and straps.
I might need one. Which one's mine?
It's like, this one, and he pulls out one of the littler ones. Not so stubborn as he grabs the reins and pulls her over. She's got a good temperament. She should probably do you well.
Okay.
Her name is Mary. I've taken lots of care of her. She's seen hard days, and she was in retirement, but we've been short on supplies. That is Glim. He smiles. Starts tightening some of the straps.
I need a horse strong enough to carry a man in armor.
Oh, yeah. He shows you a large horse. And they're all hooved. It's a foot taller than that one.
Okay.
It's pretty big. It can bear a lot of weight.
Okay.
It looks not fat and plump. You can see the ribs of some of these horses. You can tell they are also on rations.
All right.
Introduce myself to my horse. Hey Mary, my name's Art.
Sure, give me an animal handling roll with advantage, because he was helping you.
18
-1.
-1.
17.
Yep.
Yeah, she responds to you and you see her snort and the smokes. And, you take a small handful of hay and she takes it out of your hand gently. So, she should treat you well.
Okay, so I watch him do it, and then I'm like, gonna walk up to my horse, put my hand in his nose, and I'll tell him I will try not to get you killed.
Give me an animal handling, but not with advantage.
Right. 15 straight.
That's good. It responds to you, it pushes its muzzle into you, and you feel a strength behind that push, but it's a push of affection almost.
Like, way to go, buddy. What's his name?
His name is Clyde.
Clyde.
He's strong. He should help you out in the tough times. He can pull wagons if you need.
Have you seen battle?
Oh, he's seen battle, and as you investigate further and look at his side, you can see parts where the hair hasn't grown back and scars, and nothing that would be too dire, though.
We both have war wounds. It's good. Okay.
So I'm gonna reach into my bag
Yeah.
and take out one of my rations
Okay.
and walk over to the horse. That's I've been set up with.
Sure.
As I- Good morning.
It's okay, Barrett. And you see the little stable boy peel off from him, and he knows you by name. He's like, he's the best one I have.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Name is Jake.
Jake. Jake the horse? Hello, Jake. And
It's like sometimes I call him Jacob, but Jake for short.
that's a good, strong name. I hope you're a good, strong horse, too.
It's a little smaller than his horse.
That should do.
Like, I've seen you do this once or twice. I know that it's not your forte, but I'm going to show you real quick, and he shows you how to feed him. You can roll with advantage. Animal handling.
All right. And I'm also going to cast guidance on myself. So 20. So 20 minus 1 is 19.
Yeah, it responds to you. It's a very gentle horse. Its hair is long on its mane, and it comes down to its sides, and it's a deep chestnut brown with some white spots on it.
It's good to meet you, Jake. This is a good sign, too. Our journey has been blessed by the sun. We go from east to west just like the sun does above us.
You see it.
We have nothing to worry about. It'll be a great day. I look forward to seeing the west with you.
And he helps lift you up over the saddle.
Here we go! Oh, my feet
You're
don't
going to go ahead and roll animal handling. He'll come over and help you, show
properly
you.
shaped for these stirrups.
Plus your wisdom modifier.
Oh,
If they help you, you can roll
plus
twice
3.
and keep the highest.
14?
14.
Yeah, he is helping you, so you can roll again.
6.
So 14.
Right.
It responds to your commands. He shows you the commands to pull it in, to get it to go. He doesn't teach anyone how to push a horse.
That's too bad. Do I have any idea?
I mean, you've
soldier?
seen it. You've
I've seen
seen
it happen.
people whip them or kick them, but you don't have spurs. And to repeat the process, you're not really sure exactly how they did it.
Daggers.
What?
Have you guys ever seen what's that movie?
Nope.
I don't watch films like that.
No, it's the one with where Jeff Bridges plays the old cowboy.
True Grit.
Yeah. In the end, when the chick is spider or snake bit in the arm, and he's like stabbing the horse to make it go faster, even though it's
That sounds like a terrible idea. Don't do
That's
that.
just really
Yeah.
I mean, you can do it if you want.
yeah,
I'll let you know what happens.
yeah. The horse dies. Breaks my leg when it falls.
The
So-
other leg.
Right.
Well, I think you guys are gonna meet Hank. He's taking the wagon. He should be here shortly.
So what's your horse's name, Gary?
What? It's Garamond. Not Gary.
Ah,
And
Okay, sorry.
we'll just call the horse Gary.
Like,
That'd
that's
be
okay,
confusing.
actually. I didn't name him. He's from one of the fallen soldiers. And he's actually a day old. I don't really know his temperament, but you seem like you can handle yourself pretty well around that.
Did you say it's a day old?
He's had it for a day.
Oh. They grow so fast.
He left.
This is gonna be long.
Are we there yet?
Yeah. All right.
He starts just humming.
Okay. So
So
where
we're
do we
for-
meet the wagon?
Yeah.
He should be here.
Okay.
Like a little while ago. He's just tapping his fingers. 30 seconds of awkward silence pass. Someone breaks it with a little chatter. And then you hear the clattering of wheels on the street. And it's like... And you hear some barks in the distance. And this old and gritty man who has furs all around his body and his head. He's got some weird hat that's got some furs that come across his ears, and it's strapped in under his chin and snugged down. As he gets closer, you would guess that this is Hank. Hank is the one that's going to be accompanying you. He's got a mustache and a beard that's white with some black peppered through it. He's got some leathery skin that you can see as it gets closer, and he's chewing on something.
For some reason, I'm picturing old Bryce.
He looks like a large groundhog.
And he's sitting at the driver's seat of the wagon. It's being pulled by two. You just assume they're actually not horses. They're probably mules. They're a heavy breed meant to pull wagons. And he's got one white husky under his arm in the driver's seat, and another white husky running alongside the wagon. They're both excited, and tongues lolling out of their mouths, and their breath spraying the air. He doesn't say anything. He pulls the wagon up. I think you're my lot.
Yeah. You're
You
gonna
don't
give
look
us
like soldiers. Well, you do, but you guys don't.
They'll learn. I got onto my horse.
Yeah, I'm gonna hop on my horse. Let's
Oh,
go.
my horse too.
Let's.
I mean, whoa. Hi. You got some nice dogs.
Time is precious, Hank.
What are your
Doesn't have a
ponies
smile.
named? Do you have?
They're not mine. I didn't name them. I don't have their names.
What about the dogs?
They are mine. Please don't touch them unless I say. As he says that, one of them runs up to you and like throws its paws up on your chest. And
What
it's
if
got
he
a
says?
smiling muzzle. It's so happy. Down, boy! As he yells at the dog, immediately jumps down, turns around, and he runs in about 3 circles of excitement till it stops.
We're gonna get along just fine. And I climb up on Jake. All right,
Well,
off to adventure.
we best be heading out. I hear one of you knows the way there pretty well.
We just follow the sun.
We could.
Nope. We follow him.
Let's. I know the lands a little bit.
Well, I've been down this route many times. Don't need your help. You can follow me.
That's fine.
Thank you for allowing us.
He keeps chewing on something. You're not really sure what it is.
He's time for all I care.
Can I have some of that?
His tongue.
Yeah.
He reaches into a pouch and pulls out this wad of it's rough on the edges, and it's maybe the size of, I don't know, a large ball bearing.
Red man.
It's oblong in shape and translucent amber.
Figured.
It's called spruce gum. He hands you some. Do you have nature?
What do you mean?
Skill.
Skill.
Skill
Skill?
nature.
Wisdom?
I think it's actually intelligence.
Is it intelligence?
You actually probably don't have nature. I'll allow
No,
you
I
to
don't.
roll it because you are from the woods.
D20.
Survival is what I was thinking. I think.
Yeah, I'll actually
Yes.
allow you to roll survival. That would
Oh,
work
he's
too.
got
Yeah, survival. To the bottom.
Alright, so 18
Plus your 5.
plus 1
23.
5. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, you've actually heard of this. It's spruce gum. It's not nourishing, but it is sap that has collected from wounds in the bark, and the sap grows and solidifies into a not really good tasting, but definitely gummy and chewy. It's not quite a gum. It will eventually dissolve in your mouth, but it takes a long time. And it's hard as a rock right now because it's cold out.
Yeah. Chew that tree blood.
Oh, and you rolled really well. You know that it's caused when trees are wounded, usually from scratching or territorial marks of animals, like big gashes in the side of the bark will cause these saps to come out. Usually. Sometimes it forms naturally, but...
Anybody want to try this?
I'm fine. Thank you for the offer.
Okay.
I might.
I got
Absolutely.
I got something better for you. And he pulls out one that hasn't been chewed on.
Thank you, Mr. Hank, sir. That is an interesting flavor. I would like you to be my teacher. Well, such
I'm not
fine
a teacher.
things.
I'm a hunter that's been reduced to a traveling salesman. So, let's get on the road, shall we?
Let's do it.
He just whips the horses into shape. Doesn't actually whip them, but throws the reins. And the mules start their path towards Deep Marsh.
I lean down to Jake and say, "We're gonna follow him." And with my tail, I give him a little pat pat.
Yeah, it actually gives it a good nudge, and the horse gets to a solid, jovial trot.
I'll
You
ride
guys
along.
head off into the distance.
Mhm.
So, we're not going to play every day out and travel.
Okay.
That would be boring. We're going to do some fast forwarding. But, we'll usually fast forward the days and the nights if nothing interesting happens.
You have a sword and shield?
I have a sword.
Double-handed?
Single hand. It's versatile.
Oh, okay. So I'll ask you sometimes after we set camp at night if you want to practice with me.
Sure.
Or keep each other sharp.
You can tell I probably have handled swords before, but not actually really seen any battle.
Okay.
At least your sword has them for sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Alright.
I see you have a lute. Did you play us some songs?
Sure, when I'm done sparring with this guy here.
Sure.
So, first day is a little slow to start. Everyone's getting on their way. The road extends out of the city for about 5 miles. It's a long road. It's mostly cleared. There's some spots that are a little harder to get through, but with Garavon's guidance and him being a ranger, it doesn't slow you down. You guys plow ahead. The path all the way to Deep Marsh is snow. Trees are dead. Light forests. No one's been down this way in the party except for Hank, and you might have been around this area before, but you've not been down this particular path. You do know where it leads, and you do know where you are, because you can never be lost as a ranger. He tries to always stay ahead of the party. Anyone that gets ahead, he calls them back. not in a scolding way, but tells them you probably shouldn't run ahead because you don't know where you're going. It's very matter of fact. Give me some perception rolls.
That's gonna be a no. Nope.
Natural 20.
2.
So I figure, like, as we've left the town, we're on our way. I'll
19.
become more chatty than I was in town,
Plus
probably. And I'll
5.
spend time talking to Art about what war
what
is
about-
like,
how do
or
you
Merritt,
roll
if he wants to listen.
Perception.
But I'll say things like, you know, if you're in the
So
military, middle of a
that's
military engagement,
Wisdom.
the other force's archers
So
usually
plus
shoot the largest
6,
mass of men, so you
right?
want to be either before or
Plus
behind
5,
the main body
'cause
of the
it's
army if you
your-
want to escape archery fire.
Oh, plus 2.
Or I'll
plus
say
5,
things
so
like, you know, if you don't have time to bury your
19.
friends, burning them as a mercy because
5's
you don't want animals to eat them, stuff like that. Just like this
It's
is kinda
actually a
what
good
war's like.
idea to write like plus.
I'll
next
avoid
to it if
talking
you
about
want.
the Battle of
Just go
Magnus,
down
though,
the
if I can
row.
help it. I don't want to talk
yeah,
about
nice.
the time after I split
I
from the army.
will.
Okay.
We'll start with this one because
I'll talk about like the camaraderie that soldiers have, like yada yada
At
yada.
least do the ones that have a black mark next to them.
right.
Should have played cards if you want me to.
So yeah,
This is so
Be
hard on
plus 2 to
horses.
that, so
With your
plus-
perception
No, I figured whenever we
rolls,
stop at nighttime and stuff.
So
you all as a
15.
group succeed.
Well, that's
Plus
plus 3.
That's kind of amazing.
Good job.
I'm gonna let him get his stats real quick.
Yeah.
I rolled a 24 by the way.
I do know that.
Way to be awesome.
That counteracts my 2.
I'm just gonna wait
Yeah.
till you get all your stuff
I
set
have a
because I
4.
know
Okay,
it's your
so
first
Team's
time.
team carrying
and
hard
you
perception.
know it's
Just
going.
looking at each other. He
Yeah.
natural 22.
So we
Oh,
just
did he?
plus
Yeah,
1.
nice.
Plus 1 to insight.
Well, your wisdom.
Insight is
Wisdom
Plus
mod.
3.
yeah, wisdom.
Plus 3.
So yeah, but I got a -1.
That's intelligence. Wisdom is
Oh,
down here. That's a
shoot.
plus 3.
Nice.
Yeah. So you
You're actually
have a
pretty
better,
good at insight. In fact,
You
I think
have-
you're trained in it, aren't you?
Yep.
So it's plus 5.
You're better at it than I am. I'm trained. Even without training. I'm a plus 2.
Dexterity.
Well, he's a wisdom
plus
guy.
3, plus 2,
Yeah.
plus 5.
I'm not.
Plus 5 and then survival
Or
is plus
intelligence
5
guy.
as well because that's wisdom.
I'm a
as well.
strength dude. And I have like the good smile. I'm like, yeah, I'm kicks my ass.
Cool.
But brains.
We're getting there.
Every once in a while, the pups jump back into the driver's seat with him and shake off all the snow they've collected, abounding through these just deep, deep areas of pure white that blankets the world. This tundra on the map just extends all the way down during Glim. Goes probably all the way down to Jade Harbor-ish, and it tapers off here. Some of the southern areas don't get as much snow. They get Texas snows, or every once in a while.
North Florida snow.
Yeah.
I'll ask Hank, what happened to the other people that he used to travel with?
I don't travel with anyone. You talking about the soldiers that are supposed to accompany me?
Yeah.
I think they're just left back in the city. I heard they lost some scouts across the wall. So they're short on numbers is all. As soon as they get healed, they send them back out. It's a terrible way to go. Dying and living and dying and living.
It's the way of the world for a soldier.
Well, I'd rather just live and then die and leave it be. Don't bring me back. He keeps chewing, sucking on his gums.
I say to him, I'm glad that you told me about your preference in case something happens to you.
You can bring people back from the dead?
No, we can bring bodies back to the temple.
You can just burn me.
Fair enough.
That would seem wasteful.
Perception rolls as you guys are talking. You don't have to roll again.
Oh,
Right.
This
that
is
was-
your
This is
perception
like,
roll.
blah, 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 blah. So I'm busy talking.
You
about this
hear howling in the distance. It's further off, but you definitely know there's wolves out in these areas.
I experienced one.
You've
on my way.
experienced wolves actually in pretty much this area. Well, no, you came from the north in the
Yeah.
mountains, but you're not that far out yet.
So I ask Hank, are the wolves here dangerous?
Well, I mean, how
Wolves
many
anywhere.
wolves will bother us in a big group like this? That's one of the reasons we send a group out.
Is
By
it,
yourself? Yeah.
is it dark right now?
No, it's
Daytime?
afternoon.
Okay.
You've been traveling for a while. I wouldn't worry about it.
What would you worry about?
Bears.
Everyone, keep your eyes open now.
All right.
Bears. Orcs.
There are orcs in the woods?
There's orcs everywhere. They just wait till the night. I know there's been some been going towards that wall. Try to avoid them as much as I can. They usually like to travel through the mountains though. They don't usually come this far west. They like to stick up near caves and the caverns. They like to live in the deep of the earth. Out of sight. Every once in a while though, you'll see some crossing. You don't want to cross them. There's some bad things going that way.
Good thing we're going the other way.
You're right on that.
Do I know which direction the wolves were hauling from?
Yes, more from the north. Near the river.
Near the river?
Yeah. You guys are traveling this way and they're more north. Because you're probably about here.
Let's just continue the course we're going on right now. Let's not veer from this.
I mean, I'm the one leading us and not going to lead you astray. You're just here to guard me. I don't really need your guarding, I just need the numbers. People see 5 men together, they'll think twice.
About what?
About robbing and killing us, Mary. Maybe not in that order.
What's your name, son?
Merritt.
You'll be alright.
I appreciate that.
You ever been out alone by yourself in these woods?
Nope.
You ever been out and about in the world?
Plenty.
I'm doing this.
Stay with him.
I'll keep you alive if I can. I told your mother I would.
Where are you from?
Up north, the town's been burned down.
So you don't visit much?
A town that was burned down.
Forced into Oakdale. Forced to give up my living. Forced to take my family somewhere else and forced to take up this shitty job.
I'm glad to hear that they are with you still in Oakdale.
Yeah. Living the great life in the shanties of the splendid city of Oakdale where we get shat on from above.
Was your town near Greenhaven?
Nope. It was up past the mountains. It was deep tundra.
Do you know a girl called Juana?
How in the hell would I know that?
Just a thought. She was from a place that had been burned. Guess there's lots of towns being burned nowadays.
Magnus likes.
Sorry, didn't mean to be so brash, but I don't know many people. Try to keep to myself as much as I can. Most people I know are dead.
Same here.
Well, she is dead, so.
Sorry to hear that. I lost a child once. Not to burn, but to the cold.
Sorry for your
Take
loss.
you in the night when you're not even expecting it. You guys continue plodding along until nighttime. Conversation's got a little
It was a little
dark.
flat after that. I'm like, yeah, I'm done talking to Hank. That's rough even for me. I'm like, like,
I think this would be a good place to set up camp.
if it gets dark, I'll cast light in my shield.
It's getting darker, but he stops before it gets dark.
Okay.
It's about as good a place as any. There's a small clearing, not as many trees around. Anyone bring a tent?
I brought.
And so don't come with our pack. So no.
Let's see. I
I sleep
brought.
under the stars. Or perhaps underneath the carriage.
I think I brought a tent. I have a tent, a blanket,
Look at the kid's prepared.
and a sleeping pouch.
So,
a
well,
bedroll.
you don't have a tent? I got one spare. I got my own. Or you can sleep under the roof of the wagon. Or you can sleep under the stars for all I care.
I'll sleep under the wagon.
It would be advisable to stick together as much as possible. There's no reason to waste body heat.
I'll sleep under the wagon.
So the wagon is open, but he starts taking some poles out of the back, and you see him slotting them into some different spots in the wagon sides and the railings. All wooden, but he takes this large canvas and he starts slowly pulling it over all the railings that have now connected into a big U together. Keeps pulling the canvas. He's like, well, we don't like to throw the canvas out during the day because going through the forests,
Get torn.
not too easy to get through there, but now it's night. It's a good place to need to sleep. Not going to be very warm, but
I mean, I'll just keep my
keep the snow off you when it falls. It is going to fall tonight. He looks up.
cloak around me and crash in my winter clothes. I've got a bedroll and blanket too. I think I'd probably keep me warm with it. Out of game.
Out of game? It'll keep you mostly warm. In your armor, it's a little colder. It's not that much difference, but
I'll start gathering some firewood.
I mean, I'm not hurt. I haven't lost any. I can sleep in my armor and be okay.
yeah, you're fine.
I'll sleep in my armor. We're on guard duty.
Is there room in the wagon for a second?
There's room in the wagon for a second. He's like, you would sleep with the dogs, but
I'll be warm.
they'll keep you warm.
Do you want to sleep in my tent instead? I'll go to the wagon.
I'd prefer to stay off the ground, if that's okay.
As you wish.
Now help me set up camp there, Garabon?
Will your tent hold more than one?
I'll stay in
I
the
have
tent
no
with the
idea.
kid.
Whatever that.
Yeah.
Small tent.
So yeah, you're gonna
Can
stay
I
with
fit
him.
in the tent?
How big is your tent?
It just says tent.
Oh, so you just got a tent.
I think, yeah. Whatever the standard starting equipment.
It'll fit two. But it's
stay
not going to be...
That'd be cozy.
Yeah, I'll
It's
stay
not
with the
going to
kid.
be luxurious space spread about, but you'll have enough room.
That'll be fine. I got a bedroll.
Yeah.
That's great. So you guys... Yeah, if one of you is outside, you could use my blanket if you like, too.
That art, you can take it.
If you don't have... Because I have a bedroll, a tent, and a blanket.
I have a bedroll and blanket. I'll just snuggle up in mine.
Well, might as well keep these arrangements while we go on our journey. So
Two-person.
every night, same thing. Don't sleep alone, he says as he sets up the smallest tent you've ever
By
seen.
himself. Yeah.
On the ground.
Good for
by
him.
himself.
Yeah, right.
It's a triangle of canvas that he can fit into very snugly. He clears out a bunch of snow, starts setting it up. He starts collecting firewood. Not the best firewood you've ever seen. You end up out there helping at some points.
I'll dig the fire pit. I've got a shovel. So I'll shovel snow out of the way. I'll dig a fire pit for us.
And then once he's done setting up the tent, he'll also help. You guys end up setting up a pretty good fire.
Hmm.
I'm going to put some rocks kind of close so the fire thing get hot. I'm going to take them with me into my bedroll. That's bedtime. Try to keep me warm longer.
Okay.
Old soldier trick. The warm rocks.
It's like, well, we'll be eating rations tonight. No animals around these parts.
That's fine. Ration
The
bar.
only reason we need a fire tonight is just to keep warm.
Hmm.
Takes his gloves off, warms his hands by the fire. Anyone know any stories?
I know a fair few, but I'd also like to hear some music.
Okay, take out the. Let's see, what is this thing on here again?
A lute.
Lute.
You got a lute.
Is it a lute
Okay.
or a lyre?
Lyre is more like a harp.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so you know how to play the lute. All right.
So I should probably write that down here instead of lyre.
Oh, well, you
Oh,
have
you
whatever you
wrote-
want.
Lyre, lute, and
Oh.
sham.
Well, you do a lot then.
That's the things I know. So I'll say I have a lute with me, so I'll play
Sure.
a tune on the lute.
Oh, music is good too, I guess. We don't need to hear nothing. He starts playing. The night passes. He stays up until about 2. Like, anyone want to keep watch, or are we just gonna go to bed?
I can keep watch.
At 2 o'clock, I'm out.
Yeah, he's already past his bedtime.
I'll keep watch tonight.
We should take shifts.
Sure.
Alright.
Wake me up at 6.
Take the last shift.
Be fine. I'll take the first one.
All right. And everyone falls
Because
asleep.
you don't actually sleep, do you? You can meditate, but while you're meditating, are you still cognizant of what's going on around you?
I think so.
Okay. So you can keep watch and zone out. Is that how it works for elves?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll look it up afterwards.
Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna sleep. I'm like, whatever, man. If you need me, wake me.
Alright.
So everyone eventually falls asleep, gets some good rest. The night passes uneventful.
I wake up before.
There's a fire that's barely cindering in the morning. You wake up to the sound of wood being thrown on the fire and crackling as it sparks and lights. He's over there tending the fire already. He's passed out in the tent next to you. Heavy, deep sleep.
Well, I can take the corks off the end of my horns that
Yeah,
kept
like,
me from
Hey,
stabbing you.
slow! Sorry, like, oh my
I'll climb
god!
before dawn. One of my important rituals is that I watch the sunrise because each day is a gift and the sunrise is the most important. And then I do my
fuck out.
my prayers, and at which point to pray, I'm using the cantrip message and like sending it out there. That's just kind of how I do it, but
Okay.
I don't.
I mean, it doesn't go anywhere.
No.
Unless you're pointing at someone and you see them.
But it
You
feels the same.
open the flap of the tent, and the snow is very heavy on the flap, and it falls off. And the sides of the canvas are sunken in from the weight of snow that's fallen overnight. The pit where you guys have set up some rocks on the ring is snow almost all the way up to the top. It was a pretty heavy fall that you didn't even notice happen. It's still barely snowing, large fluffy flakes coming down, sticking to the top of the blanket already there. He's cooking something, you can tell. It's like, well, come on, kid, I'll show you how to eat some rabbit.
Ah, that sounds excellent. Thank you for sharing.
He's got one rabbit on a skewer. It's already got a couple bites out of it. He's like, rips off a hunk, hands it to you.
I gotta use the restroom.
Need a rabbit. Did you find this one overnight?
Yeah, I set up some traps. Better than nothing.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I don't think I've ever had rabbit before, unless it was in a stew that I just didn't ask. I just assumed it was, some other meat, maybe. But it could have been rabbit, I guess.
Sure, whatever, kid. You like to talk a lot, don't you?
Well,
At that point, the sun starts crusting the hill.
would you like to watch the sunrise with me?
No.
I find that watching the sunrise is peaceful, and it reminds me that good things can still happen. It's been dark and cold all night, but the sun always comes back. And I'm just like looking off, getting like that as the light right comes down and
You can tell he doesn't
blinds
speak
me.
much.
Mm-hmm.
Not used to holding full conversation. At this point, his dogs are now running up, and one of them starts licking you in the face as you're sitting down.
Yeah.
And you don't even really notice it at first as you're watching the sun, but then it's like you get this big slurp across the cheek. It's like, Betsy, stop that.
The dogs are yours to do with as you wish, but for what it's worth, I don't mind. Betsy seems...
It's a bad habit. I don't like it.
Okay.
Well, we best be getting on. Let's get Garavon into the wagon and keep rolling while he sleeps.
That is very considerate. Seems like a good idea.
Are me and Art awake, or are we still sleeping?
You're awake.
Okay.
You had a good night's sleep. The only one that didn't have as good a night's sleep was him. So
I'll come, shake your foot.
he shakes his foot.
Yeah.
Mr. Ether, if you want to get it into the wagon, we could start moving, and you could go back to sleep for a little while longer if you wanted to keep resting.
I think I've had plenty of sleep for right now. Better to keep my eyes open.
As you open your eyes, they're kind of blurry
Sure,
and
that
red.
too.
Well, I think elves, they do actually only take a half-hour meditation a night.
4 hours.
Is it 4 hours?
Yeah.
Okay.
4 hours meditation.
Okay.
Hadn't been that long.
Hadn't been that long. Well, maybe just a while longer.
We'll keep watch while you finish.
So they load you into the wagon. You guys break down camp. Everything's packed away into your bags, into the wagon itself. He takes the canvas down and he ends up breaking down the railings and throwing the canvas just over the top. Keeps it dark. It's like you're in a large coffin. So if you don't like small spaces, but otherwise it's nice and peaceful. Every bump every once in a while.
I rest up then.
You rest up. You end up going back to bed, even with the jostling around. Yeah, so you guys continue moving. The first 3 days this way are uneventful. You continue the same rituals. It's small talk and learning about each other here and there, learning some stories. There's some music at nights. You guys take rests every 4 hours for a few minutes. You let the horses feed if there is any clearing of any areas that still have grass left. Feed the horses there, keep your supplies. Other than that, you're on rations, which you have enough for the journey there and back. That's what they provided you with. You found in the pack that Aaron Anders gave you, there's actually another tent in there that you weren't aware of. As you searched through it. He was looking out for you.
Thanks. Yeah, that's exciting.
And the last thing is,
Have good
you
news,
had
everyone.
spent 5 gold on a healer's kit.
What's that?
You had spent 5 gold on a healer's kit.
Yep.
You can have your money back because the temple provided it to you.
Oh, awesome.
So you have 5 gold. Aaron Anders also provided you guys with the money. He had handed it to Garavon.
Say that again?
So before you left, Aaron Anders handed you the money. He was instructed by Gloriosa. Something I forgot to mention, but that you might want to know. It is a total of 200 gold. It's 50 gold each.
So I have 200.
I don't
So
have my other
205
2
gold.
sheets behind my top
I'm going to
sheet.
hold on to it.
Were those the ones that I gave to G by accident?
Oh, no, I got back. They're here.
Oh, okay.
There's not
There was nothing on them yet.
I have GP9.
Oh, there you go.
How
I
much
wasn't
we get?
sure if they were yours.
Well,
Actually, that's why.
Was it mentioned to everybody that it was given?
He pulled them to the side. So
Oh,
Yeah.
so
So you have
I
the
have-
205.
I have 205 gold.
oh, but we still have 9. I still have 9. Okay, that's cool.
you did know he was going to pay you. He didn't say when, and
I mean,
you're not sure if it was when you got back or not. He told you it's for everyone.
Okay.
Just so you know.
All right.
yeah.
The howling stopped after the second day. You guys don't hear it anymore. And you continuing on. You're now into the more forested area. Although most of the trees have no leaves on them, you see a survivor every once in a while that has like 3 leaves in total, still clinging to life, but definitely not living. It allows the sun to spill into the forest. That's not happened during the entire warm seasons. You can tell that this forest is a heavy-topped forest where the ground doesn't see much light. As you trod through the ground, there's a lot of dead shrubbery and dried brush that is pasted into the snow, cemented in. But you keep moving. Night 4. This would be the 17th. You don't have to write that. I'm keeping track. But you guys set up camp just like normal. You got any more music to play? I want to hear some of them stories, kid. You got a story to play during the music? That's you, kid.
Sure. I've liked Mr. Hostigan's stories best, but I'm sure that I could come up with something. Let's no. I actually had a story written down, but I don't
So you see
know where
Merritt
it's
searching through his pack
It's like,
and
ooh, yeah.
scrolls and different writings that he's done and different devotions that he passes by.
Actually, yeah, that's a good idea. I probably don't find a story. I find one of my prayer books.
Oh, yep, okay. I'm gonna make sure the horse is well cared for over there, and you give him a little snack. Do some quick calisthenics before we retire for the evening. Make sure my sword is sharp, yada yada yada. I'm not really listening to the devotion or the prayer books that I was reading from.
At first it was story time, then it was I don't want to hear time.
Yeah, if it's like Bible study time, I'm like, man, fuck this shit. I'm gonna go do some things.
Well, let's hear it, kid.
It's like, could you play something in a major key? Something happy.
Okay, I'll try to fine tune.
Sure.
And I won't actually sing, but I'll read the. Well, is it? Is it noon? What time of day is it?
Tonight.
Oh,
You set up camp.
okay. Well then, I'll skip right to the tenets of faith that I say out loud every night. So, at dusk, when darkness moves in, the evening ritual must be said to ward off evil. We will recite the 7 tenets of faith. Wait and watch for the sunrise, for each day is a gift. Always aid. Strive to always aid anyone you find and to foster new growth, nurturing all growing things and work for rebirth and renewal. Seek to perfect yourself to be fertile of mind and in body. Bring hope wherever you go. Plant seeds of hope, new ideas, and plans for a rosy future in the minds of all. Think ahead by considering the consequences of your actions, and so that even the smallest effort may bring about the greatest and best reward. And avoid negativity, for though death comes from life, there is always another morning to turn a setback into a success. As the shadows grow longer, when we hold our friends and children high so that they may see the sun. And I shall mourn as I watch the sun give way to the onslaught of night, and greet Saloon, the friend and ally of our morning lord, for the darkness is no more under her beautiful silver light.
It's like a full-on devotion.
Yeah.
I'm prepared. There's one for morning, one for noon, and one for night.
That's awesome.
Depends on when you ask me.
Well, something you learn every day, and I did not know that.
I'm over there like,
Yeah.
trying to listen.
Shriek.
Like,
It's very nice words, Caleb.
Thank you. Those were taught to me by those at the Citadel of the Sun. Is there anything I can help you with?
It's like Temple of Palor.
Of course.
I heard of it.
Well, if you you've also seen it, because that's where we met you.
Sables. Technically.
Yeah, but I mean it's a tower. It was the,
Well, yours isn't the tallest tower.
no, but it's pretty tall.
5 stories.
Yeah.
50 feet.
The one with
60
the gardens
maybe.
on top.
I don't
Not in
look
the
up
not in
that
the
much.
winter so much, but in the summer it's pretty nice.
Is that what that symbol means?
Yeah. I mean, the sun itself is Palor's symbol. That's what, I mean, I'm sure if you've seen anyone, that's kind of the base, and then everyone puts their own spin on it. Mine has this star inside to ward off against possession. That's why I wear the...
The sun starts going down. It's becoming darker and darker out as each minute passes. The nights are short and the night comes fast. You see some light off in the distance. Or anyone else does. You're just sitting there, listening, contemplating. You can see it just cresting over the dead branches of all these trees that are darkened in the night. And it's dancing in the distance.
Can I roll a perception check?
I mean, you do see it.
Okay.
It's far off. Not real far, but far enough. That it's just an aura of light at this point.
the rest of us don't see it yet.
You do... Give me an insight.
Let's see, 8 and 5. Oh, 13.
You would know that your fire is probably doing the same thing at this point. Dancing in the light distance. If you see that, that sees you. You would assume.
Okay. Alright. So
No one else has seen it yet, by the way.
So I'm around these guys right now?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're still talking. He's sharpening his sword. Artigan's playing some music on his lute. Go ahead and give me a roll for that, by the way. Get this performance going.
Performance. 20.
Nice.
It's really beautiful.
You are playing very fitting music for each situation. As the mood changes, you change the tunes. You read the room, so to say. And you can tell that people enjoy it, whether they say it or not. It's light enough that it's in the background. It's not overbearing. It's something you've learned to do.
Okay, so I start kicking. There's snow on the ground still, right?
Mhm.
I start kicking snow on the fire.
I'm like, Gavin, what are you doing?
It's too late for that, Garavone.
I stick, and I say,
I seen it too.
Won't you get cold?
Pardon?
"There's a light off in the distance."
Where?
Someone else up in these woods here.
Is that common?
I mean, it's a big wide world. It's not
Perhaps we could be of
uncommon.
assistance to them.
Well, more
Yeah,
likely,
perhaps we don't mess with them, they don't mess with us.
Best case scenario right there. Merritt,
It would be...
I'm going to explain something to you. Quickly. But remember, most people you meet are not your friend.
That is untrue.
Well,
Almost everyone you meet will have at least their own best interests at heart, and that does not include making an enemy out of a stranger.
unless that stranger has no armor, no arms, and money in their pocket, which you probably do.
I have
I stand up and I move away. I move over towards the road to see if I can sight the fire down the road. Are they along the road?
It's hard to tell. It's
Okay.
off in the distance.
But it's not like out in the woods.
Did you continue kicking snow on the fire?
Yeah, I put it out.
So, over about 45 seconds, you do get this fire. It did smolder a bit first, which sent out a pretty big billow of smoke, and then dissipated into the night air, the cold, cold air. But the fire that you guys saw is also out, and you do see a smoke billow in the distance.
See, they're afraid of us.
Dissipates.
Don't want us to know that they're coming to see what we're up to. I have an idea. Let's see if I'm. Do I have an idea? No! I'm like, what should we do?
Like I said, we don't mess with them, they don't mess with us, then we just go about our business.
What if they want to mess with us? Should we be proactively avoidant?
I mean, you can go see what's what, but that's on you. You don't come back, I don't go looking for you.
I would.
Maybe we should at least get off the path.
You see him chewing some.
Yeah, maybe we could just move farther away from where we just set up camp.
I mean, sure, we're leaving tracks in the snow like no one else, but sure.
So I'm closing my eyes and just saying hello, kind of under my breath. Hello? Hello? And I'm actually trying to cast message over in that direction.
You'd have to see them.
You have
Yeah,
to know
I'm sure that that's not how it works, but that's what I'm trying.
Okay. So Merritt's not trained in the ways of the hello yet.
Hello.
I've never done a blind one. But
What
I'm
if
trying.
we lead them on a false trail? I could light my sword or my shield, and we could ride perpendicular to the path for a little while, me and you, just to give them the false idea that the fire is moving away from where we actually are. Then we can double back with the light off. At least throw them off a little bit.
Sounds like a good idea.
What do you think, Hank?
You do you, man. I'm not going with you.
You're fine just staying here, hoping they don't show up.
Look at these wagons. Gonna leave a trail through the snow like nothing else.
Maybe
Think you're
we
really
could-
gonna throw someone off with these trails?
think we could sweep behind us.
There's nothing enough to sweep behind 4, 5, 6 horses and a wagon.
Maybe just have 2 stay watch tonight. I'll climb up into a tree.
Alright, we'll have to double watch. I'll sit on top of the wagon. Better sight line. We'll take first. You and who else will take second? You and Art?
Sure.
Alright, go to sleep. Sleep well, kid. I sit up on top of the wagon. Oh, I keep on bed.
Clumsy.
I am clumsy, yeah. I climb up on top of the wagon.
Okay. In the wagon.
There's not like a buckboard that you saw to ride.
Yeah, you can sit, but it's thin. It's like a railing. There's not. Oh, you mean in the driver's seat?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'll sit
Yeah,
there.
there's
Just makes
enough
me a little
room
bit
to
higher.
sit. There's a small floorboard where your feet are scrunched in to the base of the seat.
Yeah, I'll just
bench.
sit up there in order to be a little bit higher up.
One of the dogs jumps up with you,
I'll take the dog.
nuzzles up against you, and then lays down. Does two turns until it lays down and puts its muzzle right in your lap.
We've been sleeping together every night, so me and the dog are friends.
Does a little.
Hey, buddy.
You've got heartworm now.
Yeah, right. That could be uncomfortable.
Go ahead and roll a perception check. First watch.
All right. Oh man, 17 flat.
Nice. I have 16.
21.
This was 5, 21.
Nice.
During the first watch, you, after you pointed out to him as well, you both see off in the distance, past the line of sight, past vision entirely, a shadow move from tree to tree. Can't tell if it's humanoid or beast or 4 legs or 2, and you can hear it barely rustling through, but you do hear it. You see it for a second until it disappears just outside of your vision.
Is it because it's dark and you can't see in the dark too well?
No.
It's just too far away.
It's past dark vision.
Yeah, but I mean, I can light the place up.
You could light. Is it centered on you, or you can light somewhere else?
I think it's got a range. Let me take a look.
Yeah.
Like touch.
Is it a touch spell? Yeah, so I'm gonna play it like my sword or my shield.
You could light something and throw it out there, but
I could.
Like your sword or your shield.
No, I have daggers too. Light. Yeah, it's touch.
Can you light an arrow?
Does it need to be near you after you light it?
maintain contact or no? I think I've seen people combo it before.
No, I can even target a hostile creature, an item or object held by worn by a hostile creature.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And
So I can be like, ding.
that was a really good idea.
That is a great idea. So I'm
Have
like,
an extra
yeah,
inspiration.
I can do that.
And I know they don't stack, but now they stack.
Nice. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
just make
I get
Inspiration.
a
Do inspiration, yeah, because that's a cool idea. So I'm like, yeah, I can do it to an arrow. Before you shoot, it's going to light us up like, you know, Yuletide Eve or whatever, but just shoot it fast.
All right.
All right, get your arrow
Alright,
notched.
so you pull an arrow out of your bow. It's been a while since you've done this motion. It feels natural. It feels good. Something you're used to in these woods.
And I'm just gonna shoot it in the direction I saw the, just like maybe off a little bit where I saw it move.
Yeah,
Alright,
well,
so
well,
he puts his hand over. He taps the arrow.
it
And as
says
he
I do
taps it and
bright
says
light in 20
the
feet
words.
radius, and then dim light for another 20 feet.
And you shoot it off into the distance.
Okay. Do I have to roll for anything?
Give me a shot just to shoot in that direction. It's not really hard. 8 plus your attack bonus
8
plus
plus
your dex
5.
mod.
All right, so 13. Right?
13. You shoot it in that direction that you were aiming at, and you even remember where the
Here, so you
silhouette
have
of
to
the
do the math
tree
on
the
that.
thing
Thanks, dude.
disappeared
Yep.
behind. It sticks into a tree, and you see the light flicker and waver and stay true. And it's about 130 feet down. It's still far enough and through enough cover and different weeds and branches and trees that it's not clear vision, but you do see a creature run in the opposite direction once that happens immediately. And at this point, you can tell it's a humanoid, not a beast.
Should we wake the others?
Let's see what happens. Maybe we chase it off.
All right, let's go.
We only saw one.
Right.
I mean, I think we should just wait here and see if more show up.
Okay, I'm all right with
If we
that.
scared that one bad enough, maybe he won't come back. Some creatures don't like light.
I like it. Oh,
So
ooh.
you do have 30 arrows. It's not the funnest thing to keep track of,
No, that's
Now
fine.
you have 29.
but now you have 29.
Yeah. At least we can see where it went.
So go retrieve it.
How long does it stay lit?
So let's see, an hour.
Cool.
Let's go back out sometime in the next hour. We could. We could also leave it. I don't know if I want to go out there in the middle of the night and grab that arrow.
If you do, it'd probably be best to do that when it's lit still.
Yeah, it's true.
An arrow passes. You don't see any more movements. You guys have been pretty quiet, barely talking here and there. But do give me one more perception check.
And then you catch a face arrow. Nope, this time I'm tired. Rolled the 2.
17
Starting at
and
5.
5 is
22.
22, thank you.
22. There's a couple times you think you see something. Just as quickly as you think you see something, it's not there. You're pretty sure it's just the shadows playing tricks on your eyes, though. There's everything else goes by uneventfully. The light goes out. Wink. And your watch has passed.
Okay. I go awake, Hank.
That time already.
We saw something humanoid.
Yeah? What it look like?
It ran on 2 legs instead of 4 is all I really know. But it was creeping around, so we shot a light arrow at it, and it didn't like the light, so it ran off.
Shot a light arrow?
Yeah, I can make things glow. So I made one of those arrows glow, and he shot it at it.
It's a killer combo.
Sound like he rubs his eyes.
Yeah.
As he wakes up, the dogs wake up as well. They run around a little. It's like, stay close, boys. And go.
Alright, I'll wake you up. Like,
Okay.
alright, come on, it's time.
Okay.
I go in the wagon.
I'll sit up where he was sitting.
So, you guys fall asleep, even with the thoughts in the back of your mind, like there probably is something out there that
I go to
is
sleep.
interested in you. Still, you're tired.
Yeah.
You go to sleep. You can purposely stay awake if you want, but you
Nope.
don't have to.
I'm good. Someone else is keeping watch. This is how you do it in the military. You rotate out. You gotta keep fresh. These guys are now, their responsibilities
You
to
go to
see
sleep?
some shit.
No, I'm a little uneasy. I'm gonna climb back up into a tree and keep
Alright.
watch.
Give me an easy athletics check just to get into the tree safely.
Yeah, I'm like,
Alright.
It's not really
20.
hard.
17.
Plus your athletics.
Sorry.
That's fine. Something you're not used to yet.
Wait, no.
Plus 3.
He's trained.
So 20.
You get up there easy. I mean, you guys used to live in the trees, right?
That's right.
This is natural for you. This is home sweet home. Branch over branch. You climb it like a ladder. You sit halfway up the tree. You got a great vantage point. You're staying up with Hank?
Yep.
He kicks you awake.
Oh, you already did.
Oh, well, he just kicks you.
Hey, I'm already awake.
Stay awake.
So, I guess we pass in silence. No more music for the night.
Yep. Don't want us
Keep your eyes peeled. Seeing your friend go up a tree. I guess he's not sleeping tonight.
Or sleeping in the tree, one of the two.
I wouldn't suggest it, but sure.
I start sawing wood super hard. Like,
An hour passes. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
9.
you could use an inspiration if you want to.
Do have it. I
Oh,
do have
and
an extra one.
Yeah.
So how does that work if I use that extra inspiration check?
You can use your inspiration to roll that d20 again.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
14.
Plus 5 is 19.
5 is 19.
You rolled a 9?
Oh no, I just, 9.
Okay.
10 minus 1.
You see
My passive.
something skulking in the distance. It's quietly coming through the trees this time. It's humanoid, and it's getting within the vision of even you.
I do a quick whistle and point to Hank and
Hank's sitting in the driver's seat of the wagon right now.
I just kind of give him one of those into the right direction where I saw.
I'll look for it.
Like, don't talk too loudly, but he said 9 o'clock right there.
What is it?
Don't know. Something's out there.
Well, this is going to be exhaustion time for us.
What's your AC?
Yep. That's
14.
14? As you're looking off in that direction, something
Clever
whistles through the
girl.
air. And it hits you right in the shoulder. And it's not from the direction you were looking.
Yeah, clever girl.
Mother trucker.
We're not going to make it.
And an arrow catches your side
Son of a bitch. Well,
for 3 damage.
How do I keep track of all this now?
So,
Current health.
Yeah.
so it's your
First
maximum
blood!
-3.
So what is it?
Maximum -3. What's your maximum?
11, so 8.
Oh, yeah. 8 left.
You can do a couple different ways. Everyone does a little different. I just write like -3 there, and then if I take 3 more, I would -3 again.
Sure.
Or sometimes you could write each time.
It's up to you if you want to add it all
Sometimes I use
together
tally marks.
every time,
Yeah,
or
sometimes I use
just
a number.
subtract every time.
Keep
Keep
track.
Crowley, I was trying.
You take 3 damage as the arrow plugs all the way through the flesh.
Ugh, brutal.
And the end barely sticks out the back of your shoulder.
Well, at least it'll be easier to do this later.
Yeah, right.
Or you can break
Okay.
it and pull it out.
That's true.
We can roll
So-
initiative.
I'm
You guys can roll in,
Yeah.
but you
Disadvantage?
Oh, damn.
haven't awakened yet.
Oh, okay.
What'd you roll?
3.
3.
Is there an
you're
initiative
last.
bonus here? +3?
Yep.
So, nerds.
What's the...
You roll
uh,
twice because you're a ranger.
Oh, that's right.
That's why the asterisk is by your
I was
initiative.
about to ask about that.
11.
Merit?
13.
Oh, so we're rolling in? Yeah, let's see. 16, wow. I'm like, what the shit? I knew this was coming.
You're not awake yet, though, so...
Yeah, I don't know when I'm like, but when I do, I'll be like, I was waiting for this.
It might actually be worse for you because we got bad initiative.
Whatever.
So you're gonna go, and then we're gonna go, and then you wake up.
Who knows? That could be what happens. I was expecting to go last anyways. I would be surprised to start it off.
You're up in the wagon as well as Hank. What's your AC?
11.
11?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Well, that is a hit.
You're a fleshy.
Yep.
You see that
Man,
humanoid shape now form in the distance. It's not peering out of nowhere, but it is moving in a way that becomes visible as it also notches an arrow, draws back, and releases for 5 damage straight into the chest. You feel it go in deep and solid. It does not come out the back of your...
Punctured lung.
It's not come out the back of your back, and blood spurts as it hits and starts to drip down your armor.
What's your maximum?
10.
Percent of your HP.
Oh, and one more arrow. What's your AC again?
14.
Alright, so that actually misses you as the arrow whizzes by. You hear it ricochet off the tree as it just grazes it and hits to another tree and bounces off and clatters to the ground into the snow.
Did you hear the screaming yet?
I probably let out a good one.
He let out a pretty good whelp. And that wakes you up.
Okay, so I'm like, oh snap.
There's no need to roll for that.
If you turn those around, you can see the RACs.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
'Cause
I'm
we know
actually the
ACs.
ones.
Yeah, you want to know.
Thank you for that. Oh, and I got it backwards. That's all right. Well, I'll just rearrange it. Cool. All right, Delaran, you hear the scream. It's not like a girl scream. It's like, ah!
Okay, so I wake up. I spend half my movement standing up.
I think it's just 5 feet of movement standing up.
If you're prone, it takes half
Is
your
it half?
movement.
Okay.
Yeah. 5 feet if you have the
fine.
the athletic thing.
Half your movement,
Yeah,
which
okay.
is 25.
No, it's 30 because I don't
So
have any
50.
plate on yet. Yeah, 15 stand up. And then I am. So I see you kind of arrowy, looking sort of arrowy.
Mm-hmm.
He's towards the front of the wagon. The canvas that covers the wagon, can I see out the front with the canvas over it? It's like one of those old ones, like a U. And I can see
Yes.
the back and the front.
Yes.
So I can see the arrow in him.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna step up and hop off the side of the front. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go through the front and hop down.
This is actually pink, by the way.
That's Hank. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. So say this is the wagon, right? And here's the canvas part. I'm gonna go up and hop off the front over here. Then jump. Skablah.
Okay. Well, why don't I take 2 minutes, set up a small field,
Cool.
and we will move you in actuality.
Then my move action is to run and jump off, and then for my action, I will cast light on my shield and light everything up.
The horses are all tethered to this tree right here. We'll represent them with some dice. As the commotion happens, you hear the horses are now startled
All right.
into
Clyde has
action and
training.
alertness.
Clyde has seen battle before. Hopefully he doesn't flip out and run off. Don't run, Clyde.
All right. Oh wait, let me put the combat camera on.
So the arrows are coming from the front of him. Is where the arrow's coming out of.
That'll work well enough. The arrow is now sticking into his chest.
So it looks like it came from that direction.
Yes,
Okay.
it had to have.
So I'm gonna be like.
From that arc.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be like 5, 10, and jump.
Okay.
And go over there.
Toward or away?
Toward the direction I think the arrow came from.
Was the
That's the
arrow
rest
that
of my
way? or-
move.
That arc.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So but I don't want to hop onto the mules if they're in front.
Gotcha.
Hop to
No,
the
they're
side.
over in the horses.
I mean, there's probably still like a rod and shit out there, like tack and stuff.
Go
I don't
ahead and roll a
wanna-
perception.
Okay.
You jump off into the snow.
I rolled a
Whoa.
flat 19.
Sorry.
Oh shit.
Pulled him off the fucking wagon. 19.
Yeah.
You see behind the horses someone skulking about in the shadows, and you can tell that he's actually doing something right there up against one of the horses. And that's actually what's causing the commotion. It's not you guys, although it seemed like it at first.
Okay, so I yell like, "Over by the horses!"
Okay.
And then I'm gonna cast light in my shield at myself and track a target. Woo.
Right, so you cast light as your action.
Yep.
You've spent half your movement, then you jumped 5.
I can jump up to 16, so I can jump 15.
Not without a running start.
But I thought it took me a little while to get to the front of the front of the thing.
Give me
why I only jumped
athletics
5.
then.
Okay. I only jumped 5 because I only had 5 left by the time I got to the front.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine then. You're
Okay.
right there.
Yeah.
So that was your movement
Yeah.
and your action. Light.
Like, yeah.
Merritt,
And I'm
you
like,
wake
"Over
up.
the horses, they're doing something to the horses.
I come crawling out. I still got my corks on. My hands, my head. Now we'll look around. Sees what I see. 15.
15. All right, stop bumping that, Josh.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. 15 is enough to see the light, blinding light coming from your friend Delaron. It's on his shield. He's lighting up the area. It's like
20 feet of bright
bright light up
and
to the
20 more
horses,
feet of
dim
dim
light past the horses. You're here, and you actually can see the horses are making a commotion. He yells, "Out by the horses!" And you see a slight second humanoid shape that disappears behind the commotion.
All right. I don't see any arrows, so I'm going to run toward the horses.
Oh, God.
Merrick gets up,
I wanted to see
half
if that
your
was in the
movement to
description.
stand up from prone,
Mm-hmm.
and you can move the rest of the
Crawl
way.
out.
15 feet.
Yeah, so 15.
Can I borrow that pencil that you have, the yellow one?
Yeah, here you go.
So it's half the pencil. That's 30 feet. So right there. Do you do anything else?
In your description, you didn't say anything about seeing them being wounded. I just don't see that up on the wagon.
With a 15, you were really focused on what's right in
Yeah.
front.
Between the yelling about the horses and the light over by the horses, that makes
It
sense.
is. It draws your focus immediately.
Oh, I hope to draw on their focus, too. That's my hope, is that I make myself and track a target with the light. Everybody look at me. I try to stay behind my shield.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Does it block ranged?
The shield?
Does it give AC to ranged
It
attacks?
does, yeah. It's all attacks. That's why I'm like,
That's cool.
yeah.
I will I'll use my other
arrow
my action as a
Shield with arrow
move.
traction.
So I'll double move.
You got a double
You can
move?
make yourself the target of all range attacks in 30 feet or something.
Tucked back
So the arrows
in
will
more
go
this way. This
Like
way.
that?
Yeah.
Sometimes the shield catches it. Sometimes it's supposed
That'll
to
be all.
you.
Okay.
So I'm like,
Garibaldi,
no.
you're in the tree. It's
Here we go.
up here.
The horses, the
So you're
horses.
kind of like
You know,
halfway
the
up.
light over there. Like, okay.
You have a great vantage point,
Oh.
actually straight across, and you do see the humanoid figure that's hiding from them. But that's not the one that shot you. You know you got shot from this area. And once they shot you, they revealed their location. They are moving in between trees at the moment. They're out in the open right now. Oh, and the figure you see over here.
And once I get to that guy, it's game on for him. Then knock his
Give me...
Unless he kills you.
That guy's a good guy.
If he kills you, I'm just
Give
going
me
to
a
stab him and I'll leave
survival.
him alive and drag behind the
With the
wagon
20?
as we get to
With
town.
the D20.
Hey, that's just a poor soul lost in the woods.
You'd be so fucked up when you see what I do to him.
Oh. Inspiration? Want to use your last one?
Plus, can I do a plus
you roll
5
one?
though?
Did you roll a 1?
So ones are not automatic botches,
Oh, they're not.
meaning it's not an automatic fail. Not skill checks. Attacks
Oh, okay.
are. But the way I'm going to play ones in this game, since we haven't done it, I'm not going to tell you what happens when you fail so badly. I'm going to let you tell me what you see with a 1.
So you failed horribly.
You fail. You don't know exactly what it is. You are trying to figure out what's the humanoid shape behind the horses.
Ooh, maybe you
'Cause
see
it's
your
close
wife
enough.
or something. Maybe for me you have this weird, like,
Oh,
fucked up
shit.
PTSD delusion. You're like, what? It's my kid.
It doesn't have to be that bad. Again, it's not a botch per se, but it's obviously a mind trick,
PTSD
something going
delusion.
on.
Right. What happens is, let's see. I believe it was. I thought I saw Merritt over yonder.
Okay. You didn't even notice him running out this way. You're looking straight over
Right.
there, and you think you see Merritt behind the horses messing with them.
Oh, man.
That's your perception. But go ahead and make your action.
You do have weird tiefling hate in you. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So what action would you like to take? And I know you've not done this much, so I have a combat sheet in your binder
Okay.
that tells you the kinds of actions you can take, like attacking, casting spells, things like that.
Well, since I think this guy here is Merritt, right? I'm going to
Attack this guy.
I'm going to attack.
You can see them.
Or
They're out in
actually-
the open. That one you can also see because they've made themselves aware. However, you have cover against him.
It'd be harder for you
cover?
to hit.
No. You can go around the tree and shoot, but if you step out on the limb, I'll make you roll because you're now out on a limb trying to shoot.
He's
Literally
harder
going
for
out.
you're harder for him to shoot because the tree is between
Right.
you and him.
Yeah.
So maybe just.
All right. So let's go with that far guy. In
Okay.
I mean, he did shoot you.
So that's 30, 60,
Doesn't matter.
90.
Can you tell me how sharpshooter works again? Because
Okay.
I might want to just go out
So here's
and
the
do
deal.
that again.
Here's the deal. First of all, he doesn't have disadvantage to long range, so you can shoot anything out to 300 feet with no problem. Long range doesn't matter to him.
Because of sharpshooter?
Yep.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
if you want, you can take a -5 to your roll to shoot him. It gives you +10 damage. So you get less good at shooting, but instead of just being like, oh, I'm aiming carefully, you're just like, swap! And you like let it rip.
Okay.
The way I see it is
Now-
more you're like aiming for a certain spot, which if you aim for the body, you're more likely to hit. If you aim for the head,
The eye.
yeah.
Right. So it's
He
like,
has acted. That means you do not get advantage. You get advantage if they haven't acted in the first combat.
that's
But
great.
you do have an inspiration that could give you an extra d20 roll if you so choose.
Dude, fuck him up.
So it's up to you
If you
how
have
you
an
want to try to
inspiration,
hit
you
him.
can use it if you roll poorly.
I've already used one.
That's all right. We're all going to use them.
All right. All right.
So
So,
if you want to do sharpshooter, you declare it before you attack.
okay, I am going to do the sharpshooter.
Nice.
And so I rolled a 20 to
Yep,
see if
roll
I
the
It's
hit.
just a flat roll because you have +5 and I also have -5. So it's whatever you roll on that die.
It's a 9.
9.
You want to roll
9
again?
is not enough to hit.
Okay, I'll roll again.
inspiration?
Yeah.
Alright.
A 9.
That sucks.
Fate has spoken.
Sorry, man.
So the arrow flies past, and you see the streak as it goes by. It just misses its mark, and you hear a soft as it disappears into the snow.
Oops.
Hank pulls up a crossbow, aims it towards the horses,
Yeah, he wants to protect the Shetland ponies.
and tries to shoot, but the guy has full cover from anyone shooting that direction. Except for you, although you think it's Merritt. He misses. It goes wide. He was aiming too high, and you can just see it go off in the distance.
Didn't want to hit the horses.
Artigan. Or Art, whatever you like to be called.
I will, I can tell who shot at me? Or,
Yeah,
I
you
suppose-
see in the distance. Do you have dark vision?
is human? No.
Nope, he's the only one who does.
Then no. You actually can't see where he is.
We have dark vision.
But I,
Bright light out to here, dim how far?
Another 20 feet.
So there's light out to this tree line right here.
okay.
But you can't see further than that tree line. The
Can I
light-
tell something's out there or no?
Someone shot you from out there.
Someone shot you from out there.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, you know something's over there. But it's not
You know better than anyone else the direction it came from.
because the arrow's
The
pointing
arrow's sticking that direction.
It's like, you could be like, right
Yeah,
over
line
there.
up the trajectory right off your chest.
Right. it's
Okay.
that way.
I'll cast sleep out in that direction.
How far is the range?
It's 90-foot range and 20-foot radius.
Okay. You are guessing on the exact location, which for you, this is not the exact location. You're not entirely sure.
Okay.
So, sleep in a random direction. Go ahead and give me
It's not
an
completely random.
intelligence or a wisdom.
It's a straight roll for intelligence. 11?
11. You can generally pick the area that you think you were shot from and that you saw another arrow fly through the light into that direction.
Okay.
And you cast sleep. Roll 5d8.
3. 6. Plus 5 is 11.
14.
14. Plus 3 is
17.
17.
21.
21. Plus 8 is 29. How many more?
How many?
No, you only
just
did
roll
5d8.
Oh, 5. Oops. Sorry.
That's fine.
21.
So 21.
21.
For some reason I was thinking it was 8.
You're going for it.
88.
You were just like, yeah.
Just gonna roll till he tells me to stop.
21.
Sleep the shit out of everything.
Okay. 21.
Sleep the trees.
I don't believe that sleep will tell you
If they did or not.
if
No.
it worked or not.
Mm-mm.
You're not entirely sure exactly what happened, but you did it.
Can I do a cantrip as a bonus action?
If it's a bonus cast.
Oh, wait.
Again,
It's
I don't
not
think
a
there are
bonus.
any
Never mind.
cantrips that are a bonus
And if
action.
you're a sorcerer and you decide to cast
Quick spell.
Yeah.
I can't
Alright.
do a bonus action spell if I already cast one, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I will go in the back so I'm not visible.
Yeah, sleep, get the fuck out.
Yep.
Okay. This guy runs off. Out of the light, into the dark.
Does he keep going?
You can't see.
Alright.
That guy runs off. Actually, he gives a parting shot.
I'm the villain guy.
You have full cover, which means it's +5 harder to hit you.
Mhm.
Actually, you're behind the tree. I'm going to give you total cover. Can't even hit you.
Everybody can see me.
Yeah, you're actually the only one in range, but you do have partial cover because there's too much tree line in the way and shrubs and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, the shot goes wide, and actually you hear it go right into the wagon wheel. Now sticking out. Done.
Alright, so this guy is running.
You hear the
That guy ran off. This guy over here with him.
Roll your perception.
Nope. 8.
They all ran off as far as you can tell.
All right.
Oh, you didn't go over there.
I am going to go over there and check on the horses. I want to check on Clyde.
Okay. You get over there, you see the strap is cut. Only one of them, not both of them.
On which one?
On this one. This
Okay,
is
whose horse is it?
This is the unnamed horse.
Oh, it's one of the guys from the wagon, the mule.
No, this is the unnamed horse of yours.
Gary.
Gary?
Gary.
Oh, no.
Thank you for remembering.
Gary's strap is cut.
But
No.
he's still standing there.
He's not super hurt.
Looks a little freaked out.
I'm going to hop into Clyde.
Okay. Clyde. So your movement was 30 here,
Yep.
and you could use another action to do it.
Yeah, I have to use half my movement to climb onto him, so I'll double move and use half to get up on top of him.
Okay, so you dash here, you use half your movement to climb up on top of Clyde,
Yep.
and you move Clyde out.
I do, in the direction of the horse thief.
So
Do it, Clyde.
you don't have an action to command him yet,
Oh, okay. I will on my next
because it
action.
does take an action to command your horse.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Okay. And then my next action will go out that way.
Okay.
I'm still glowing.
You are still glowing. Merit.
They're trying to steal the horses.
I'll also move into the horses, but then just try to calm them.
Alright.
It's like, easy, 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 easy.
Give me an animal handling.
You slap Jake in the face. Stop, Jake!
Inspiration?
Sure. By inspiration. That makes it 4.
Makes it not a 1. We don't
Four.
give a shit.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. All the horses are still tied up. One of them pulls against the tight rope and stretches it a little and rears up, but it doesn't aggress
I don't
anyone.
get kicked in the mouth.
Yeah.
Your horse is the most amiable towards you. And it seems to calm just a little. But you've created somewhat of a bond with it.
Easy, easy. Everyone else sees a devil running at it in the night.
With corks on the horns. What are those corks? What's going on there?
They're just little wine corks.
Just put apples on it.
Great.
I would love that.
Yeah, the horses would love you.
All right,
I gotta get some
continuing on.
apples.
Unless you do anything else.
No.
Okay. Garibald, you do see that guy run off. Take a peek behind the tree. You see that guy prone in the snow.
I am going to him up.
The prone guy? You have disadvantage to
You
shoot
do
guys that
have
are prone.
disadvantage to shoot someone that's laying down. Because it's actually, you're at a height. I give you not disadvantage because he's elongated. It's not like you're shooting in a straight line. You're shooting down onto someone that's prone. So it'll be a straight roll.
Okay.
You may choose to use sharpshooter or not.
I really want to use that, so I'm gonna do
He's
it.
not going
Like
anywhere.
I'm gonna use sharpshooter.
Sure, he's not leaving.
I think if they're incapacitated, it's a guaranteed critical.
That's only if you're within 5 feet.
Oh, damn.
19.
Yeah.
Straight, 19.
That does it.
You see the arrow sink into the target. And when it hits, roll your damage.
Murder hobo.
Oh, your damage is going to be 1d
Plus 13.
for your longbow.
A D8 plus 13.
1d8. Which one's that? I already.
It's
It's
like
the-
a diamond.
Diamond. Alright. That'd be a 6.
Plus 13.
Plus 13.
19 damage.
19.
Slap.
Even from this distance, you see it sink into the neck of whatever's out there in the snow, and you hear the satisfying sound of.
And I say, ha ha ha, Garvon.
All right.
You laugh and say your own name.
I'm not the only one here.
Got my work cut out for me.
Good luck, bro.
Hank climbs back into the back and calms his dogs down.
Oh yeah, I was back there with him.
Bessie, quiet now, quiet. Hardigan,
Yeah,
how you feeling?
I've been better.
Your turn.
Weren't you in the bag too?
Yeah. I'll do healing word on myself.
Okay.
3 plus. I don't think I get my proficiency.
Plus 1, right? D4 plus 1. Is that what it is?
Yes.
So
Well, it's D4 plus your wisdom mod.
Oh,
Yeah,
or
wisdom
whatever
mod.
your mod is.
So plus 3, so 6. So I get everything back.
Nice.
Or your charisma mod, I would suppose, because
Yep.
you're not wisdom based. If it was your wisdom mod, you'd be screwed. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
1d4 minus 1. Oh.
That's super sad.
Yeah, you mend the wound. Did you pull the arrow out?
Oh yeah, I suppose I'd pull the arrow at first. And then...
Yeah, you probably never experienced this yet.
Nope.
So you don't pull the arrow out.
Okay.
It'd be a bad idea.
Yeah, you'd be like blood in chunks and like.
You could shove it through, but it hasn't gone all the way through, and you're not sure. I mean, you don't have the knowledge or the experience of anatomy.
Should I roll to see if I think about it, or? do you
Yeah,
wanna
roll
do
to see
that?
if you even think about it.
5. I probably don't think about it.
You probably just cast the spell.
Yep. It hurts.
As
Not
you
that
cast the spell, the arrow slowly and surely shifts its way out of your skin as your wounds and the hole in your shoulder starts to mend. And it doesn't cause further damage, actually. It just ejects the foreign object from your
Nice.
body.
Nice.
That's cool.
And then clatters to the ground, blood dripping off the tip.
Okay, now I'm better.
Hank looks over, he's like, that was something.
That was something. Are they still out there?
You want to peek your head out and find out? I don't
No.
think so. I don't want
No, I'm good in here.
Tell her
Is Clyde tied to the tree?
yes.
I swing my sword at the rope.
All right.
So cut the
That's
rope.
just part of your movement.
And then we're gonna go that way. Like, go, dude.
All right. So you go
60 feet.
50.
Oh, he only goes 50? Okay, 50.
He only goes 50.
He's not fast, he's just big. That's fine. 50's
Off
still
the
good.
Go ahead and give me a survival.
Yeah, not so much. 11.
11. The light shines upon the snow as you progress forward, and you see lots of snow and trees and
I
shrubs.
don't see any
And
footprints in the snow.
you don't really see any footprints in the snow, and whatever the creature was that was out here not go in a straight line, most likely, and it's not within your vision.
Well, I'll sweep around in my next action and try to pick it up.
Okay.
If I don't, then I go back.
Okay. Merit.
I didn't even see someone flee.
No, you didn't really see anything.
All I knew was the horses, and he took off. Mr. Cooper!
Like, stay with the
Mr.
horses.
Cooper!
Stay with the horses.
Why?
This one's still untethered.
Is that one of the mules?
Oh, that's Gary.
It's scary.
Gary. Alright. I'm gonna cast guidance on myself with a tiny prayer. I say, Paylor, help me. And then I'm going to try to calm Gary and grab his reins.
Okay. Give me an animal handling.
Wow.
That's 5.
Total? With guidance?
With a 4 in
It
guidance.
turned out badly.
The tether's cut, but the other tether's still holding on to the tree, and it's taut and tight. And Gary tries to wrench it free, but it gets caught on one of the knots of the tree, and now it's just
So
lashed
I'm just,
into there. and
Trying to
it's-
grab the other half.
It's you're not really a horse whisperer.
No.
You know this. You're doing your best though. Get her
Easy,
home.
Gary. Easy, Gary. I'll get you an apple.
I already know about that guy, right?
Yeah, as
Yeah.
far as you know, he's run off.
As
And
far as I
out
know.
of even your vision, because it's still dark out.
I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna make my way. How do you?
Down the tree.
Yeah,
Give me an easy athletics roll.
and that's just a.
D20.
Plus your athletics skill, which you are trained in.
19
You
altogether.
are a very athletic wood elf.
That's right.
You swing down the tree very adeptly, hand over hand, just one branch down to the next, down to the next, with almost an ease. You can get down with your full movement speed, and then hit the ground. But that was your action,
Mm-hmm.
so you can use your movement still, or
We're
a
not going to be
bonus
able to
action.
shoot.
Yeah. Well, then I'm gonna go over and try to steady the horses with.
Okay. So you can use your movement, which gets you right up to the horses.
Okay.
You won't have enough,
Oops.
and you
And a big hand comes from the sky.
broke down the tree
Snap!
as you jump out.
Laid waste.
It's not the same tree. Artigan.
Oh shoot! I should have went over to the way. Oh well.
Whatever.
I'm going to take a second to see if I hear anything, and I'll cast Blade Ward on myself.
You see, Blade Ward is where it protects you from piercing and slashing, right?
Yep. Half damage.
He casts a spell over himself. This is a quick, small blurb, and a shimmer of light wraps him, almost like saran wrap, over his entire body, and then it melds into his skin, and then disappears.
And I'm just going to sit there and listen to see if I hear anything.
The dogs are whimpering and muttering, and one's licking incessantly at his fur on his belt. Has a little blood on it, but it's dried old animal blood. You don't hear anything out in the snow anymore, except your friends and the horses are a little startled.
Okay. That's it.
Delron, you make one more survival check.
I do. Natural 20.
That's 20. You pick up a trail.
I gotta stop playing with that.
Fuck this guy. Follow the trail.
I'm fidgety.
Okay. You
I
do
do my
follow the
spinner.
trail.
I'm faster than he is, too.
Oh, you're much faster than he is. He didn't have a horse.
Let's do it, Clyde. When you get the horse. I'll give him a horse. Bring my horse down to there.
You trot up towards whoever this was until your light in the distance shows the back of someone running through heavy snow. And you can use your action to catch up to him if you want.
I do.
Alright. So that'll be your action as you catch up to this human. Give me a perception check.
Okay. 8.
8. Can't really tell. Clad in fur and boiled leather, just like you guys. Not really sure who or what it is, but it is running away, and its back is turned.
You know what happens next. The party isn't here.
Clyde continues on his journey.
I just need Clyde to run up to it so that when he tries to run away from us, I can stab him in the back.
I mean, you can run him
But
over
you're
if you
lawful.
want.
Nah.
You can take an advantage swing if you come right by him.
Okay. That. I I don't want to kill him. I just want to wound him horribly.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try to be cut off a hand or something.
Yeah, you're not aiming at this point. You're just stabbing from
Let's
off
just
top
say
of a
I don't
horse.
aim for the head. I'll aim low.
Okay.
All right. Advantage swing. That's an 18. And that's 15.
Like a golf club. You slice into the back of whatever this creature is. Roll your damage.
Oh, only 4.
Total?
Yeah. 1 plus 3. I wound.
So you hit it.
Now can I tell what it is?
It turns around. You see this red face pulled tight like leather with a small snout. Do you have survival?
No.
It's not really more like a snout, more like a... Yeah, it's kind of snout-ish. It's got some elf's ears, but it's not an elf. It's got some black hair that's pulled tight into a bun back here. And it doesn't look like it should have hair. It's a weird-looking creature. It's not a humanoid. Not a race you've ever seen.
Cool.
As you do that, it pulls a sword from its side and stabs back.
Let's do this.
And it can do the sword pull with movement.
You can pull an open as a free action, so you can stab away. I'm good at it. I'm good with it. After 20.
Gonna kill you in the dark.
Lothrune.
You guys hear off the distance, and then,
Natural 20 is bad.
I guess I didn't. I do have it statted somewhere. So thanks for making me pull out my stats.
Yeah, no problem.
At least you're not, 80 feet away.
New character time.
It's a good thing that you had a couple minutes.
Yeah, that is good. I don't know. I've got a decent hunk of hit points. Might be hard to kill me in one shot.
And the sword it took out, the one-handed sword, he grabs with 2 hands.
Oh, versatile? What? Digs
Digs it into you.
D10 me. What'd you roll?
10 damage as he cleaves in to your legs.
Okay.
However,
Oh, my wounded leg.
All
right.
you have a choice.
What's my choice?
Whenever you're mounted, there's always a choice.
You know what choice I make? That's easy.
You rear Jake up in the way,
sorry,
just as the
it's
sword...
Clyde.
Clyde.
Sorry,
Not
Clyde.
Jake.
Clyde takes the belly.
You rear Clyde up just
died
as
in a
the sword
different
comes
game.
and just cleaves through Clyde's chest all the way through. It's like... and rears up on his back legs. Make an athletics check.
Do I hop down or land on my feet?
To not fall on your ass.
All right.
And maybe it fall on you.
11.
11. You do fall, however, you force yourself to fall in the opposite direction of Clyde, who then hits the ground, writhing and neighing, more like a scream at this point, as blood spurting out of its chest all over the ground.
Well, it's a bummer. Does he get death saving throws?
I'll try not to get you killed.
It was a natural 20.
Yeah, all right.
That was not 9 damage.
He's dead.
That was 18 damage. It was a natural 20. Well, I guess it was...
It would have been 5 times
19
2 plus
damage.
modifier. Or would have been 19? It would drop me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I obviously give it the horse. I'm like, well,
I find
I
that
liked
funny.
you.
I'll try not to get you killed.
That's what I said.
Looks like meat's back on the menu.
That's right.
Now,
That
you
did
probably
not take
have to
long.
leave.
Didn't take long. I do.
It's 11:45.
Yeah, gotta go.
I think this would be a great time to call a game.
I'm gonna kill this son of a bitch.
And when you guys come back around, you'll see if Josh lives or not.
Yeah. We'll see what happens to me. But I'm gonna kill this guy.
Never split the party.
Always. We always.
I mean,
do
always
it.
split the party, but
We always do it.
Yep.
Has there ever been a game where we didn't split the party? Let's be real.
yes,
When?
sometime.
I mean,
It's happened.
every Chronicle though we do it. You know what I'm saying? Like not every game, but like every story arc, we split at least once.
True.
And I got this.
All right, guys. Well,
gonna be fine.
thank you for joining me on the session 1 of your journey into the heart of Lothrune
Right, I killed him.
towards Riverstorm. Well, towards Deep Marsh first.
I see my thing. I put down the wrong passive perception.
It's not 9.
It's 11 because I have proficiency in that.
Nice.
It's a little better.
So, Matt, how'd your first game go?
Well, I definitely killed someone.
You
so.
definitely.
Oh, thank you.
I think you're the only one that killed some. Well, he
I
killed
killed Clyde.
something.
I got an assist.
You got an assist.
Peace, Clyde.
I like.
I know it's a little slower in the beginning, but everyone's getting acquainted with who they are and why they're on their journeys.
Yeah, man. We're good. We'll do this next week and maybe kill some more people.
Hopefully
will.
kill somebody else and not die yourself.
That's a good plan.
Did you want to run it so that
Sorry.
it was one game for a level 1?
You are gonna level. One game for level 1,
Okay.
and then it'll be more each level.
Yeah, 2 games.
I don't want you guys to spend too much time at the lower levels, but I do want you to get acquainted with what you can do and how you can do it. So you are now level 2.
Oh, are we rolling HP yet or no?
We are not rolling
use my
HP.
card.
We're going to take the optional rule,
Oh, yeah,
which
that's
is you
right.
gain half your HP
+1.
plus 1. Plus your
So,
constitution mod.
Mine's a D8.
So you would get
Six,
5
So 5.
plus your constitution mod.